bit of rugby league action. Gee whiz, I have missed it. I have missed some rugby league action, but we are back. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport. We are live as we get underway with the Pacific Championships. And specifically today, we do have the Pacific Bowl, which is a different tournament that a lot of people... I don't actually, so 1 second there. I just got distracted because I got to mute that. But the Pacific Bowl is the same tournament but different to the Pacific Cup, which you're seeing in the likes of New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga. This is the Pacific Bowl, where you are seeing the Fiji Bati, the Cook Islands Aitu, and also the Papua New Guinea Kumuls. Now, the way this tournament works, and I hope it's the same, I'm not 100% sure it is the same, so please clarify if I am wrong in the chat. But last year, we saw the winner of the Pacific Bowl, which was Papua New Guinea, go up against the third place team in the Pacific Cup, which ended up being New Zealand, and then whoever won that game between New Zealand and Papua New Guinea would be playing in the Pacific Cup this year. And obviously, you've seen New Zealand went on to win that game, and they're the ones playing in the Pacific Cup, whilst Papua New Guinea are still down here in the bowl. But the reason I find this interesting this year is because next year, so Australia will come back and they'll come straight back into the Pacific Cup, and you'll assume that New Zealand will be the ones to go and play England, if I'm not mistaken, in an international series. So then, whilst you do remove New Zealand, you're automatically getting Australia back in, and then I guess unless Samoa or Tonga finished in third. Anyway, long story short, is there still that promotion relegation game this year, especially considering that we are going to be seeing one of those two teams drop out? And what if it was, say, New Zealand that did come third, and then, you know, they go and lose to Fiji or Papua New Guinea, which I would highly doubt, but if they did that, then what would happen? Because then the team from the Pacific Bowl that won would be eligible to come up into the Pacific Cup, but then the team that has gotten knocked out there are not going to be playing next year, and Australia's coming back in. So that's where I'm getting confused. But overall, please let me know and clarify in the chat if you do know the answer to this question. But today we do have the Fiji Bati taking on the Cook Islands Aitu, which is an interesting matchup because I think we all know who should be winning this game. Now, there are quite a few outs here for Fiji that you would have been expecting, and I am also confused that the Fainu brothers aren't here, especially considering they put their name as eligible. But also, please let me know in the chat why that is. They are missing guys like Latu Fainu as well due to injury. And then Viliami Kikau is also out because he's getting married during the Pacific Championships. And we've also got Mark Nwanga Tawase, who did decide to play for Australia. He got selected there. He would have actually played Fiji had they not selected him for Australia, but they did, so he's not there. But overall, this Fiji Bati team is still littered with talent. They are a very strong team. They're not as strong as your Australias and your New Zealands, but they have gone close recently. They have been getting close to New Zealand in World Cups, and also they've... Oh, no, not so much Australia. They only lost by 6 points to New Zealand in the last World Cup. I think it was in the semi-final, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in the semi-final, or it might have been in the quarterfinals, sorry. They only lost by a small margin there. So they're not too far away, but they are still decently far away, you know, and it realistically comes down to the halves, which has been the problem with the Pacific Island teams for a very long time now, whether that be Samoa, whether that be Tonga, whether that be Fiji, and definitely Papua New Guinea. It's always the spine, specifically the halves, that have always been the ultimate crux, and that's why it's been so great to see countries like Samoa and Tonga find their halves that are legitimate NRL quality halves to move them into this next stage where you are seeing the rise of Samoa and Tonga even greater than we have seen in recent years too. But let's get into the two team lineups here for this game here today. Like I said, next week you will see Papua New Guinea. They are not playing this weekend. They're the ones with the bye whilst Fiji and Cook Islands play. And tomorrow we get a massive game between New Zealand and Samoa, and Tonga get the bye, and then next week you will see Tonga play. But that is the Pacific Cup. This is the Pacific Bowl. Same tournament, but different tournament, if you get what I'm saying. So, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, get to the comment section, let me know your thoughts in regards to the game, and let's get into the two team lineups here. So, this is at Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. This is where all the Pacific Bowl games will be played. The Fiji Bati take on the Cook Islands Aitu. The fullback for the Bati is Jareem, the Dream Bowler from the West Tigers, with the wingers being Sunya Taruva, also from the Tigers, and Jethro Renakama from the Canterbury Bulldogs. You go to the centres of Michael Jennings and Sammy Valame, with the 5'8" being Kurt Donahue, halfback of Brandon Wakeham, with the front row forwards being Tui Kamikamitha and Michael Wanga, and then Penioni Tangituimua is the hooker. You go to the back row, Tane Milne and Kitiona Kaltonga, and the 13 is Caleb Navale. Interchange of Terrell Kalokalo, Solomone Saukuru, Karesi Maya, and Kylan Mafoa, with the 18th man replacement being Aquila Goro. This is a strong enough Fiji team that should be pretty confident of winning this game pretty well here today. This is definitely strong enough. You know, is everyone who is eligible for Fiji playing? No, not necessarily. Am I surprised that guys like Samuela Faianu, Sione Faianu and the likes aren't here? Yes. But overall, this Fiji team in the Rugby League World Cup next year will be a force. They really will. It's just... also, Apisa Koroisau, who is out as well. They will be a force if they can figure out what their halves are. But I guess if Latu Faianu is playing that Rugby League World Cup next year, he'll go into the 7. And they've just got to figure out whether it's Brandon Wakeham or Kurt Donahue that goes to the 6. Because hopefully they do keep Api Sakotoi on that 9, because when you do see Api play that 7, I'm not a massive fan of him playing in the halfback role, which we saw for Fiji in the last Rugby League World Cup. So it comes down to their halves again, because their forwards are solid. Look, Tane Milne is a walking liability in a lot of ways, but he also can be quite good at times too. He's 50-50. Is he going to have a big game, or is he going to have a poor game? Is he going to be ill-disciplined, or is he going to make some real good hits? And I mean good hits. I don't know. Tane Milne is a very fluctuating player that you can get literally anything out of. Kitione Kautonga, he's okay. He's solid. He does his job. But obviously, next year, we're looking towards them having Viliami Kikau, obviously back in this back row, and then hopefully Samuela Faianu as well. Caleb Navali in the 13th, fine. The front row forwards of Michael Wanga and Tui Kamikamitha. Kamikamitha is their captain, I believe. And you would assume that he does a really great job here for them. He actually performs better for Fiji than for Storm in a lot of ways, in my opinion, which doesn't surprise a great deal. Michael Wanga, I'm not too sure about that. It does have him in a Dolphins jersey there. I just realised I went through the 1 through 5, or the 1, 2, and 5 of the clubs that these players play for, but I didn't go through the rest of them. Anyway. So look, their front rowers are okay, but realistically, when it comes to Fiji, you are really looking towards their back line, where you've got a really star fullback in Dream Buller, you've got some fantastic wingers in Sunu Turuva, and a newcomer in Jethro Rinakama, who had a decent enough season for the Bulldogs this year. Michael Jennings, plenty of experience, but how old is Michael Jennings now? Dearie me, he is 37 years old, Michael Jennings. Wow, we were. Michael Jennings is still cracking on. I wonder if he'll be at the World Cup next year. Doubtful, but we'll see. And Semi Valame does his job there. But again, I just got to keep referring to these halves of Brandon Wakeham, who's not in the NRL, and Kurt Donahue, who mainly plays as the 13 for the Dolphins, no? Let me quickly go back here and have a look here at the NRL. I'm pretty certain he plays more so in the 13 for the Dolphins, if I'm thinking correctly. So I'm going to go back to this Raiders game, team list, and yeah, Kurt Donahue was the 13. So he realistically does play 13. Look, when he's actually been one of the better players for Fiji when in recent outings. Last year as well, he was pretty decent in the Pacific Bowl, where they got a big win against Cook Islands, which was... it makes sense. And then they got a big win against Papua New Guinea as well, but that was in the group stage. And then they played in the final, and then Papua New Guinea got a really good win against Fiji. You'll know when Fiji play Papua New Guinea that these two teams, for some reason, despite all the littered NRL talent in the Fiji team and the lesser-known names in the Papua New Guinea team, for some reason, Papua New Guinea just always seems to beat them when it matters. They just seem to always do it, man. It is so confusing, but it is a thing. So, Kurt Donahue is solid enough there for that 6, but that's going to be their biggest concern when it comes to taking down the biggest of oppositions, when they're taking on teams like your New Zealands, your Australias, your Samoas, your Tongas. You do have to add those into the equation now, and also England. It's going to come down to if they've got the right halves and if they've got the quality there, which is why we're really looking forward to Latu Faianu in the future. Now, let's move over to the Cook Islands team, which has a couple of changes here. So the fullback is Kalis Paul Putoko, who was originally meant to be the 5'8". Now he's the fullback. The wingers are Paul Ulleberg and Isom Ioka. Centres of Kale Iro, the captain from the Cronulla Sharkies, and the other centre is Ruben Rennie, the 5'8", who was originally meant to be the fullback, and now he is the 5'8", Isan Masters, with the halfback being Cassius Cowley. The front row forwards are Makahesi Makotoa and Tepai Moroa, with the number 9, Mason Teague. You go to the back row, Brendan Piakura, fresh off a Broncos premiership, and Ruben Porter, with the 13 being Pride Pedersen Rabati. You go to the interchange, Rua Ngatakaura, Brody Tamarua, Reese Zakin, and Justin Makareri comes in, with Delahia Wigmore as the 18th man replacement. The names that you'll recognise here If you've been watching World Cups recently, if you watch international footy, you'll know quite a few of them. But the main ones, Kale Iro, we know him from the Cronulla Sharks, very, very strong centre. Probably across this game is the best centre in the game. Michael Jennings at his peak. Look, I'm taking Michael Jennings at his peak. But now, at 37 years old, Michael Jennings, I am taking Kale Iro, but he's definitely clearly better than Semi Valame and also Ruben Reddy. So Kale Iro is a huge shout there. Isan Mallorca has been around for a long time in regards to his Cook Islands team. You've definitely heard his name. Isan Masters used to play for the Cowboys. Debatably, he played for the Titans. Isan Masters is a... he plays better for Cook Islands, is what I'll say. He's a very good player for the Cook Islands. Well, he's their best player. When it comes to international footy, Isan Masters is the guy that realistically pulls the strings. I don't know what he does now. He's only 29 years old. I don't know kind of where he's at in his career because I feel like he's over in the Super League. Correct me if I'm wrong there in the chat, but I feel like he's over there in the Super League. But Isan Masters is usually one that pulls the strings here. So you will know his name. Didn't have a great NRL career, but... has maintained a pretty quality spot here for Cook Islands. Makahesi Makatoa, you'll know that name. Mason Teague for the Dolphins, you'll know that name. Tepa Maroa as well, you will somewhat know that name. Brendan Piakura is definitely someone you'll be aware of. And if you've watched the internationals, again, you'll know guys like Ruben Porter, Pedersen Rabati, Justin Makareri, and Angati Kaura. Look, overall, I'm going to tip Fiji here, and I am going to tip Fiji 13+. I think that their lineup should be too good, but the issue... And as you guys know, my family is in Fiji. When it's not Australia playing, I am definitely behind the Bati. That doesn't mean that I'm going to give you just a complete biased commentary here today, but I'm going to provide you as best as I can, whilst also still supporting the Bati, because I love the Bati, I love Fiji. I'll actually be back in Fiji, not next Friday, but Monday afterwards, because if you guys don't know, I've been travelling throughout the entirety of the year. I'm in Vietnam right now. Friday I go to Singapore, and then on Monday I'll be back in Fiji. So we're looking forward to getting home to the beautiful beaches of Fiji. If you guys want to see all my travel stuff, it's over on BKRtravel in the pinned comment where we're doing hotel reviews, Airbnb reviews, and all the travel stuff. So if you love travel content from Vietnam, America, Fiji, Australia, India, Thailand, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, everywhere this year, then definitely go check out BKRtravel, which we are posting every single day over there. But yeah, look, I think that the problem that I will always find with Fiji, and this is coming from a good heart, Fijians might not necessarily like this, but this is a problem that happens in Fiji with the Sevens team. This is a problem that happens in Fiji with the 15s rugby union team, and has been a problem with Fiji in the rugby league as well. For some reason, despite having a really good team, despite having some big names on paper across all of those sports, they get ahead of themselves and they believe they've already won the game before they've actually played the game. This is a huge problem with Fiji when it comes to international sport, because they have such an amazing amount of potential in all the sports that I've mentioned. But the problem is that sometimes they get a bit too ahead of themselves and think the game is already over, and then that's why usually you will see Papua New Guinea beat them, because Papua New Guinea, they will be underrated. They'll come in as the underdogs. No one will consider them because they don't have as much NRL specific talent in their team, whilst Fiji have plenty of players that you'll know. Again, to mention not just players here from today, but guys like Viliami Kikau, massive. Api Sakoro dream baller here. You know, you've got Jethro Renakama, you've got Sunga Truva. You've got a fantastic amount of players in this team, and now the Phony Boys. You've got a fantastic amount of star talent in this team. So you should be winning this game by a significant amount. You should be winning this game by 40. But every time they play Papua New Guinea, for some reason, Papua New Guinea just always get up because they are considered the underdogs and they have something to prove. Whilst Fiji, they kind of a lot of the time will buy into that nature. And that's why it's a lot better when they do take on a team like New Zealand in the Rugby League World Cup, where it was only a controversial 6-point loss. They had something to aspire to prove people wrong. If you want Fiji to win games, and this is in most sports, you should actually doubt them. You really should. You should actually doubt them because they will prove you wrong. But if you believe 100% that they are the guaranteed favourites, unfortunately they'll believe that too, and you can't have that. So that is my biggest criticism of what I see from international rugby, whether it be union or league with Fiji. is that unfortunately they get a bit ahead of themselves sometimes, but that's just because they really believe the hype in regards to them. So I hope that this is a very strong mental Fijian unit going into this year, and especially with next year's Rugby League World Cup coming up, which is a shortened Rugby League World Cup. There's not as many teams, I don't believe, so that we remove a lot of those blowouts. But again, Fiji should be winning this game by a comfortable margin, regardless of the fact that their halves are a bit doubtful. Maybe not so much Donahue, but definitely Brennan Wakeham. And the fact they're missing players, they should win this game by a comfortable margin. But that's my thoughts. Let me know in the chat what your opinion is of this game, and also just of all the teams in the international tournament this year. Like I said, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new around here. Cook Islands in the women's just beat Papua New Guinea 34-6. So really unfortunate there. Papua New Guinea women's team just hasn't been able to take strides in the right direction. We have been seeing this quite frequently, forever, realistically. So it has been disappointing. With the Papua New Guinea Orcas, they also got pumped by 50 points last week to Australian women's team, which isn't surprising. But 34-6 to the Cook Islands, you wouldn't have necessarily thought that was a reasonable thought process. But the Cook Islands, they are growing as an international nation. And this is actually, before I get into the chat, this is a positive that I want to talk about the Cook Islands. If you are a Cook Islands fan, if you are from the Cook Islands, I really don't want you to think that just because I've got Fiji winning 13 plus here, or I'm going to pretty much tip everyone 13 plus against you. Just because of that does not mean that I don't believe you are making great inroads to growing rugby league in the country to get to a much significant and more competitive level. I do believe that we are still in the extreme early developmental stages of Cook Islands International Rugby League. You know, and there are guys that are eligible that haven't necessarily, come across here to the Cook Islands. That's their choice. I've got to remind people that's not a traitor because they decide to play for somebody else. That is their choice. They are entitled to play for the country that they're eligible for, and just because they don't select your country does not mean that they have to play for that and they're a traitor because of it, which is a common consensus discussion point that you do see from socials when players do select to go here rather than there, especially when they choose to play for an Australia over a Cook Islands and whatnot, right? I think Valentine Holmes is a great example of this, but he's also injured right now, and wouldn't have been selected for Australia, so probably would have ended up playing for Cook Islands, to be fair. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that Cook Islands is still very early. So please don't have too high expectations. Just look at them as a growth nation. Look at them as a... Well, geez, actually, is there a comparison? Because Fiji's always been at least there or thereabouts. It's always been New Zealand, Australia at the top. Well, I'm going to reorder that. Australia clearly at the top, and then New Zealand just in behind, well, decently enough behind, but still on their own, they're New Zealand. And then you'd probably come down to England also on their own. And then underneath that, over time, you've probably consistently had Fiji. Fiji would be on a consistent level just underneath England. Just underneath England. And then it would be Papua New Guinea, and then Samoa and Tonga and whatnot were originally just underneath them. They've obviously risen dramatically, Samoa and Tonga. They have risen dramatically in comparison, but they were down here. So I guess you have to look back to what Samoa and Tonga were 10, 15 years ago, probably over 10 to be fair, but yeah, 15 odd years ago, where Samoa and Tonga were really struggling and would get punched in the mouth quite frequently. And Cook Islands do get punched in the mouth quite frequently when it comes to international rugby league, but there is signs of really great development here. And especially with guys like Kailiro. Kailiro is a fantastic player, and I just know that if you give it time, Cook Islands will definitely improve. Maybe not necessarily to the level of a Samoa or Tonga, but who's to say no? Who is to say no? The international game is really growing comparatively to what it was 10 years ago, where no one gave a shit because Australia wins everything. And whilst Australia still does pretty much win everything, and just because of an international friendly that to Australians meant jack shit in 2017. Australia versus Tonga. Tonga won. That's great for Tonga. They really greatly cared. But for Australia, they didn't really greatly care at all because it was an international friendly. And whilst also New Zealand won 30-0 in the Pacific Cup a couple of years ago, Australia still frequently win the Rugby League World Cup, and they still frequently win the Pacific Championship when they are playing. So, and they did beat Tonga obviously last year before now going across to England for the Rugby League Ashes. So the point is that the International Rugby League is growing and it is looking much better. We are seeing a really dominant New Zealand team, really dominant Samoa team, really dominant Tonga team. New Zealand don't need to prove it comparatively to Samoa and Tonga, who haven't necessarily proven it yet, but they have risen dramatically regardless, which is a proof in the pudding right there, that they are definitely incoming. And I could see them really pushing Australia over next year. I really could. I could see those countries, New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga and New Zealand's an obvious one, but Samoa and Tonga are really pushing them. So the international game is growing at a rapid rate, and no one gave a shit 10 years ago, and now people are starting to really give a shit again, which is great to see. But we do need to see someone other than, and I will say New Zealand here too, we need to see someone other than Australia or New Zealand win the Rugby League World Cup next year. And that's coming from an Australian. We need to see someone else win it. Because if that happens, it will give great belief to everyone who has never won it before that they can develop to a stage where they can beat an Australia and they can beat New Zealand. Because whilst New Zealand's only won one World Cup back in 2008, and Australia's won every single other one since, we're not talking about the Stone Ages, Great Britain, not England, Great Britain. The game has come leaps and bounds, but if you are to see a Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Lebanon, not that Lebanon are ready, but or probably nearly for a long, long time. But the point is that you see any of those teams win, it's like the Broncos winning the grand final in the NRL this year, where it took away from the Storm, the Roosters, and the Panthers monopoly we've seen for many years now, and the Broncos finished well outside of the 8 just last year. It gives hope to those other teams that have the opportunity to get there and have the opportunity to break the monopoly of, say, in Australia / New Zealand on a lesser level. So I'm excited about the International Rugby League growth and development. Hopefully we can see further improvement here from Fiji and also from the Cook Islands, and then we see Papua New Guinea later on, and then I really need to see Samoa and Tonga prove their stature on a more significant level this year, especially without Australia. Can Samoa or Tonga actually genuinely beat New Zealand here? And I know Tonga beat New Zealand last year. I do. I just need to see them do it again. I don't want it to be like a one-off thing. I want to see them do it again and really kind of emphasize the fact that they are here and they're ready to go. But like I said, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. The game is very close to starting any moment now, and let's open it up. Move this bad boy across here. All right, Duraz says, would be tough if you're an NRL fan and only follow NRL. Would be hard to pass time in the off-season till the new season. Absolutely, but there's no way if you're a rugby league fan you're not watching the internationals. And this is the thing that I really dislike as well in regards to people who are so against the monopoly of Australia, and they're Australians. I'm referring to Australians here, and I know specific Australians who are New Zealand fans to go against Australia because of the monopoly. But there are people who genuinely dislike and hate the international game because their team is so successful and because the competition level isn't as significant as you would like. But ultimately, the international game is getting back to a stage, if Samoa and Tonga can improve, is getting back to a stage of a really strong competitiveness. Tonga gave it a good crack against Australia last year, mind you. But to hate the international game because your team is so successful is just the most pointless thing I've ever heard in my life. It is the most pointless thing I've ever heard in my life, and I really dislike this notion that if you don't like the fact that Australia are winning, then... anyway, I don't really know how to explain this perfectly, but the point of the matter is that get behind the international game. And if you're Australian and want to see somebody else win, that's fantastic, but also to denigrate and to downplay the international game on a significant level long term, when you can see the development and the growth of these other nations, is just pointless for mine. And I hate that people hate on the country from within. Internationally, hate on the country you like because it's competition, but internally, it's just ridiculous for mine. Dylan says, didn't know Fainu were Fijian. Oh, they're Tongan, are they? Oh, are they Tongan? Really? That's my bad then. No, I'm... Oh, well then who am I thinking about here? Who am I thinking about then? They're doing the Harkers right now. Who am I thinking about? No, I'm correct. You're mad at Mappers. Phony Brothers set to provide the Bati boost for Pacific Championships. Fiji's forward stocks are set to be bolstered for the Pacific Championships by the inclusion of the Fainu brothers, not Latu, Samuela and Sione. Samuela and Sione, who are also eligible for Tonga, have elected to play for Fiji. So, I was correct. Latu, Fainu, Samuela Fainu, and Sione Fainu are eligible for Fiji and also for Tonga, but they did, because Samuela and Sione didn't make it necessarily for Tonga, they put themselves as eligible for Fiji. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, they're eligible for Fiji. I really got confused for a second then. You guys confused the living shit out of me. But all right, there you go. Now, do we get to listen to the Fijian hymn? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I love it. Sean James says, good morning, mate. Looking forward to a game of footy. Looking forward to. Oh, look! I thought you were insulting it for a second. Then looking forward to a game of footy, not a great game. Yeah, looking forward to some footy here, man. Tomorrow's big game, but New Zealand versus Samoa. Those forward packs are incredible. Dat Boy Jordan says, "Who is PG playing against next week?" I think they are playing. I think they are playing against the Cook Islands. Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, it is Papua New Guinea, Commonwealth versus Cook Islands, Aitu next week, and Tonga versus Samoa. Ooh, that's a big one. That is a big bad boy one there. Anakin Skywalker says, odds on Milne to do his occasional horrid high shot getting sent off. That is $1 to 1. Yeah, no, it's actually, I think it's 98 cents to 1. Like, you actually, if you bet on it, it's such a guarantee that you're going to lose money when you win it. That's how much of a guarantee it is. It's basically the bookie saying, you're so stupid for betting on something so obvious that we're actually going to just take your money anyway, and you're losing 2 cents to what you put on. Dylan says, remember last year when we twisted a Storm player's leg trying to break it at half time? Dat Boy Jordan says, with the new Samoan team, do you reckon they'll win the Pacific Championship? I think that any of Samoa, Tonga, or New Zealand can win that Pacific Championship, and I think it's going to be a belter of a tournament. We did see Tonga beat New Zealand last year. Samoa, when they played a couple of years ago, didn't take it too seriously, the Pacific Championship whatsoever, so that wasn't a great way to get a read for that team. And then last year they played against England. So, or was it? Yeah, it was England. Yes, yeah. Tonga, New Zealand, Australia were the Pacific Championships last year, and Samoa was playing England. Ibrahim says, I mean, the 4-pack for Fiji is very underrated in my opinion. Underrated, sure. Yeah, Tui Kamikami's solid. Tagi Tuimua, I do like him as a hooker. But then again, you will see Abisai Korowisau probably come back into that 9. I really hope they don't put him back into the 7 when he comes back in for the World Cup next year. Michael Wanga, I'm not too sure about. Tano Milne, we'll see. Kitiana Katonga, he does his job, and Caleb Navali, he does his job. So, underrated, I think, let's see the proof. I think let's see the proof for us to get a real good idea if they're underrated. Lagan says, g'day all. Life is peaking when you're watching the Pacific Championship and BKR Sport at the same time. Mate, life's peaking, son. Life is absolutely peaking. Lagan says, rooting for Tonga in the Cup and Cook Islands in the Bowl. I know Cook Islands will get slapped both games, but you never know. The Titans only pulled off a 26-point comeback against the 4-Peat Panthers. Sure, but also very, very different. I am tipping Fiji here, 13+. I would love to see a competitive game here, like we will see tomorrow. I'd really like to see a competitive game here from the Cook Islands to show their development. But, when you look at their spine, Kayla's Paul Potoko, Isan Masters, Cassius Cowley, and Mason Teague are going up against Dream the Dream Buller, Kurt Donahue, Brennan Wakeham, and Penioni Tangi Tuimua. Whilst Fiji's spine isn't dramatically over the top better, Buller does clear for the most part. Kurt Donahue was a really good 13 and has been really good in the 6 for Fiji when he plays there. Wakeham at least has been here at a consistent level across many years now. And Tangi Tuimua for mine. Well, Mason Teague is solid enough, but Mason Teague doesn't really play 9 of the Dolphins either. Does he play a bit of 13 as well as what we see from Kurt Donahue? I can't remember. Either way, I've got the Fiji spine being pretty clear here, and then also in the other positions, the lesser specific positions of the centres and the back rowers and whatnot, I do have Fiji clearing. But let's just see how the Cook Islands do track on here. So the game is about to start here. It will be Fiji to kick off to the Cook Islands here in Papua New Guinea, where I actually am considering going next year. I'm considering travelling there for a couple of months next year. So that's over on BKRtravel though. So the Fijians will kick it off. Cook Islands grab it to 15, and they'll bring it here to the 23 on first tackle. It's going to be interesting to see how the broadcast is for this game, because last week we saw a lot of people complaining about the broadcast of the Papua New Guinea PMXII game against Australia PMXII game. Obviously wasn't the greatest competitive battle, wasn't the best quality overall. So this week I hope it's better. I don't really like this kind of camera not the camera angle, but it feels like it's I don't know, it feels a little bit slow right now. It just feels a bit different, but it's not like a really bad broadcast as what we did see last week with just like grainy footage a lot of the time. So 4 tackle here for Cook Islands, the 45, no, 5th tackle, and now they're going to kick this ball out. This camera work is a bit interesting. And Fiji will grab this ball at the 10 through Dream Buller. He'll bring it back here to the 20, and it's going to be first tackle. Dat Boy Jordan says, yeah, bro, they overconfident. Sean James says, cartoons on inside, so it's just BK Sports for me. Get around you. And Anakin Skywalker says, Tonga versus Samoa to be game of the Cup and PNG versus Cook Islands to be game of the Bowl. I think that's No, I don't think Papua New Guinea versus Cook Islands should be game of the bowl. I think Papua New Guinea versus Fiji should be game of the bowl. I think you're just going for the underrated selection there. Third tackle here for the Fijians at the 40, and now they'll bring it out to the 45 on fourth tackle. But for the game of the bowl, yeah, look, Samoa Tonga does make a lot of sense. It's a penalty too. Fiji at the 45. Penny. Oh no, is it? What's happening here? Or is it a knock on? Oh no, it's a knock on. Fiji. This is real. This is it just me, or is this the way this broadcast is right now? Really odd. Yeah, he has just lost the ball there. He has just lost the ball, but the Fijians were all high-fiving, so I thought they blew a whistle, but no, it is just a knock-on for Fiji, so here's a chance for Cook Islands on the attack. Taula says, who do you think will win, Samoa or New Zealand? Oh, it's a tough one. I do think New Zealand should get over the line, but they are without Jerome Hughes. Oh, man, it's a real tough one. We'll talk more about that one tomorrow, to be fair, in the pre-game discussion. We'll go an hour live early tomorrow, but geez, that is a belter of a game. I really could see Samoa getting up. I could see a world where New Zealand do actually still finish third in that Pacific Championship, Pacific Cup tomorrow, which would be just insane. Cook Islands now, they got this ball to the 35 on third tackle. Sips Tarea says, I got 13 plus for Cook Islands. No, you don't. No, you don't. Unless you're from the Cook Islands, Sips. Unless you're from the Cook Islands. And now Cook Islands are going to be 30 metres out from the line, fourth tackle. If the Cook Islands win this game 13 plus... Oh, that's a forward pass. Well, that's a forward pass. Yep, forward pass from the Cook Islands. The Fiji are going to get the ball back at the 28. If the Fijians lose this game 13 plus, we need to... And this is not to disrespect the Cook Islands, but it's just the difference of quality we've got in these two teams right now. If Fiji were to lose this game 13 plus, I would be relegating them. I would be relegating them to not being in the tournament next year. Because there's no world that they should be losing a game of this quality 13 plus. I'm sorry. Lagan says, same Sips. Yep, you're also drunk, Lagan. Sean says, that was a sensational explanation of what would work. Lagan says, that Fiji kit is peak. They always produce the best jerseys. Maybe it doesn't fit the action. If it doesn't fit it, man. Whatever. Come on. Second tackle now, Fiji at the 40. The greatest, son. Second tackle for Fiji. And now they go to the right-hand side. We need to see their forwards really motor here. And they'll get this ball to the 50 on third tackle because they've got a fantastic backline, but the forwards need to set the platform and the foundation in the right areas. And that's a great run here from Michael Wanga to the 40 on Cook Island side of the field, fourth tackle. They'll roll it back to Tangi Tuimua, who'll go to the right. And Brandon Wakeham underneath to Tane Milne. And Tane Milne looking for an offload. Tane Milne, what a character, eh? We've seen Tane Milne back in action for all but 2.5 seconds, and the first thing he does is hold the ball up looking for an offload for quite literally about 7 seconds, and then after 7 seconds decides to throw the ball for an offload, and it goes straight to the Cook Islands. So fourth tackle here for the Cook Islands at the 32. Tane Milne, what a character, eh? What a character. Fourth tackle here for the fifth tackle for the Cook Islands at the 25. They go to the left-hand side. Where's the kick coming from? Not a good kick, but Fiji will pick the ball up at the 22, and it will be first tackle. Tane Milne, he's something else. Min T says, hi, buddy. Lagan says, Jethro Ranakama in for about 11 tries. Didn't you just say that you've got the Cook Islands winning 13 plus, and now you've got Jethro Ranakama of Fiji scoring 11 tries? Third tackle now for Fiji, and they'll get this ball here to the 40. 5 minutes into the first half. And now they'll get the ball to the halfway point of fourth tackle. Lagan says, I'll never forget when Milne knocked out Lenny. Oh my gosh, Fiji have not lost the ball again. No, it's loose ball. It's gone backwards, and Penny Tangi Tuimua will pick it up and bring it to the 40 on the Cook Island side of the field. Underwhelming so far, Fiji, but Kurt Donahue goes right-hand side. Brandon Wakeham, ball hits the grass. Fiji, Semi Valame. It's going to come out to back again. And Brandon Wakeham now, Dream Buller. Dream Buller gives it across here. Jethro Ranakama back on the inside for a try time for Dream. The Dream Buller. Bulla. They're going to check this, though, because there was a lot of ball being dropped everywhere. I just don't know if it goes backwards or forwards. They're going to check. They're going to go to the bunker here. This comes out of nowhere because Fiji have been super underwhelming this first 6 minutes. So we're just checking the bunker. 34 minutes to go here the first half. Let's see if the bunker in the international game can do its job properly. It would be nice to see for once. It'd be nice to see just one time in history the bunker actually does make the correct call in this sport. So that's backwards. That's fine. And then that's going to be from Brennan Wakeham. Hits the grass. Buller picks it up. No, Sammy Valame picks it up there. The 35. He cuts inside. And then it comes out the back. That's fine. Brennan Wakeham picks it up. Gives it up to Dream Buller. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking at now. Does that come out fine here? Okay, so we're going back to the Valame. That's fine. That's definitely gone backwards there. There's nothing wrong with that from Valame. Okay, no bunker. This is very clearly just coming out the back here from Valame. Yeah, we're still looking at the Valame thing when it's pretty clearly obvious that comes backwards from Valame. That's not what we're looking at here, bunker. Yeah, playing on at this point. That's not what we're looking at, bunker. Okay, why are we still looking at this bunker? It clearly comes out the back there. That's not the problem that we're meant to be focusing on here. We are focusing on Dream Buller over on the right-hand side. Okay, Dream Buller at the 33, the 30. I think this is fine. I think this is a try. And then Rinakama flicks the ball back on the inside for Dream Buller. This will be a try. We didn't even really kind of look at the Dream Buller situation. I don't understand why we really heavily looked at where the ball came out the back cleanly from Semi Valame when it was very clearly just at the back. Anyway, this is a try time for Fiji. Tosoviti. Try time Fiji. 4-0 with a kick to come. Michael Paul says, Bola, Tolofa, Malo, Kiora, gets mate. What's gets mate? He's trying to say g'day, mate. He's trying to say g'day, mate. What's gets, mate? Laurie says, hi, Blaze. Let's tosso viti, tosso. Exactly right. Vinaka vaga levo. Tosso viti. Vada va, Cook Islands. What happened? 6 minutes in, 4-0 to the Bati. 4-0 to the Bati. That was a nice play there, though, from Fiji once the ball came out the back from Semi Valame. Brennan Wakeham with a really quick pass to Buller, and then Buller, who has done really good so far. He's been really evident in this game. I mean, you do need to see him be one of the leaders. He is, on paper, probably the best name on this Fiji lineup, I would say. Yes, on paper, currently speaking, with the lineup they've got today, you've definitely got Dream Buller being the best player in the team. Maybe when you've got Apisai Koroisau and potentially the Whanau brothers and whatnot, maybe a bit of a difference, but today, Dream Buller needs to really stand up and do his job. All Rinakama that try? Yeah, for sure. Well, not all Rinakama, but Rinakama was fantastic. Dream Buller is the one who really kind of gets this one in motion. He's the one who gets the line break assist for Rinakama, and it's a nice pass just before. There was an attempted intercept as well from the winger from Cook Islands, but it was a beautiful pass from Buller, and then Rinakama gets away to get it back to Jerome the Dream. But all right, Cook Islands, kick that ball off, and that's going out in the full. Well, that's not a good start here, Cook Islands. Well, that's not fantastic. So Fiji will get the ball at the halfway point after the Cook Islands have kicked the ball dead off of the kickoff. That's out in the full. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. Is this what we're up for today? Is this what we're up for? So Fiji will get this ball to the 42 on first tackle. And go to the right, Tangi Tuimua to Caleb Navale. And Michael Wanga, who will be 35 metres away from the line. Lagan says, Cook Islands are already cooked. It's not even 10 minutes in. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Fiji go and score a try right now to really emphasise why I was telling you guys that Cook Islands winning this game is pretty out of the equation. Fourth tackle, and Fiji haven't even been that impressive overall in this first 8 minutes either, but yet they're still leading 6-0 and have a chance of scoring right now. Fourth tackle, 20 metres out. Oh, was that touched by Cook Islands, or is that just going? Yeah, it's been touched. It's going to be Fiji. We'll get a fresh set of 6 at the 22. It's going to be Fiji Bull. Sean says, you can tell you have travelled. Your pronunciation of their names is cracking. Well, for Fiji, it's easy for me, mate. I've grown up in Fiji, you know. So my daughter is Ratuman, Fijian, and my mum lives in Fiji, and I've been a part of Fiji for a very, very long time, so I know how to pronounce it. Like, for example, the C in Fijian is pronounced with a TH. So that's why when you see Tuikami Kamika, people say Tuikami Kamika, but it's actually Tuikami Kamitha. That's how you pronounce his name. And then the Q is like an NG, so Wonga. And then with an N. Oh, 1 second here. Left hand side, Dream ball. Try time again. Dream the Dream with a double, baby. Dream the Dream with a double, and it's 10-0 with a kick to come. Dear me, that just came out of nowhere. That just came out of absolutely nowhere. So again, 10-0 here, Fiji, with a kick to come, and Dream the Dream baller has scored 2 tries already. So yeah, to help you guys out with Fijian pronunciations, when you see a C, that is a TH pronunciation. When you see a D, so like in Nandi, it is spelled N-A-D-I, but before the D, kind of the pronunciation is with an N, so it becomes Nandi. Not Nadi. Anyone going to Fiji, please do not call it Nadi. It is not Nadi. I know it looks like a Nadi, but it is not Nadi, it is Nandi. So 10-0 here with a kick to come, and Fiji looking likely to run rampant here early. Yes, Logan, you are right. They are looking like the Cooked Islands right now, because they are getting cooked by Dream Buller. Can't wait to get back to Fiji, actually. Not next Friday, but next Monday. Not this Monday coming, but the Monday after. I'll be back. Oh, no, sorry. I leave Singapore on the Monday. I think I arrive at like 3 in the morning, actually, on the Tuesday, which is, funnily enough, my mum's birthday. Lagan says, will I get eaten alive if I pronounce it like Nardi? No, I'll just punch you in the mouth. Yeah. And I can't speak from everybody else's perspective, but from my perspective, I just slap you. And Fiji will... Oh, it curls back inside there. So it will be 12-0 to Fiji. 30 minutes to go in the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. And definitely go subscribe to BKRtravel, especially if you want Fiji content, because that will be coming soon enough as well. But we've got plenty of Vietnam, India, Thailand, Malaysia, and whatnot to come still. Michael says, you're having a great laugh at the expense of greatness, bro. What do you mean? Sorry? Well, what am I doing? I'm having a great laugh at the expense of greatness. I don't know what that means. Alright, so Fiji will be at the 5. And they're going to bring this ball out now to the 16. And it'll be first tackle, Fiji Bati. Tangi Tuimua to Tui Kamikamitha. And Kamikamitha is going to be at the 23 on second tackle. 12-0 Fiji. Come on, Cook Islands. Make it competitive. Oh, I get what you mean, Michael. You're talking about, like, in regards to travelling, like I'm enjoying, but it's at the expense of... Is that what you're saying? Because Lagan just said that's a quote and a half there, so obviously it's a great quote, and I'm trying to piece it together mentally. Maybe I'm just so focused on rugby league that it's skipping over my brain right now. Fit tackle here for Fiji at the 50. And they're going to roll it back here to Tangi Tuimua. And they kick this ball into the breeze. Oh, okay, so the Fijians are actually going against the breeze as well in this first half. And that's going to be Kalis Potoko, who brings his ball out to the 30. So apparently he's a young New Zealand warrior. Well, it's hard to get into that team in the position that he's playing, the fullback. Second tackle here at the 40. Blaze, stop it. You don't have a working brain, don't use it. Yeah, that's a good point, Logan. It is a valid point. 6 again, I think they've just called here for the Cook Islands. I just heard like a ding-ding. They haven't updated on the screen, though, so I think this is first tackle here at 30. I think so. The broadcast still has it as 4th tackle, but I just heard the ding-ding, like a 6 again. It says 5th tackle on the screen, but I think it's like 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, I think this is 2nd tackle. And now 3rd tackle, and they're going to be 15 minutes. Yeah, now they've put the 6 again up. So I think this is 3rd tackle. I don't think that's a new set. Restart! Feature away after mistake. Jethro Renakama. I think he's hurt his arm here. But he's at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. He steps back onto the inside and be taken down to the 24. The mistake there from the Cook Islands is going to prove costly because Fiji are about to score immediately. You would assume that should have been a bin for us. But he's hurt his arm here. He has clearly hurt his arm here, Renakama. God bless him. Left-hand side here for Fiji. Jareem Buller. He's going to go to the left again. And Fiji will be 5 metres out from the line. Second tackle. 5 away. Jareem Buller. He's going to score a hat-trick. Jareem the Dream. Jareem the Dream Buller with a hat-trick. Bing, bong, boom. Bing, bong, boom. Dream Baller is just absolutely tearing up this Cook Islands team right now. 16 with a kick to come. Jethro hurt his hand, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think he runs away for the try pretty easily there if he didn't hurt himself. You could clearly see he was hampered by the arm/hand injury, or I'm not too sure what the injury was, but you could see like him carrying it like this. It was really awkward, which slowed him down. I do feel like Renakama does get there. Picked it up there, and then I don't know what he's done there. There's an injury of some sort, but he's clearly not in full flight there because he has hurt that arm, and that's why they didn't get to play the ball up quickly. But the Cook Islands were clearly holding him down too. Michael says both are dreamers. Michael, I'm trying to figure out if you're like, are you having a crack at me? Are you calling me a dreamer now? I'm really confused. Maybe I'm really confused. Are you saying a good thing or a bad thing? So it will be Fiji 16-0 with the kit to come. Sean says the sack is going to get whacked. That is a favourite J pastime. That is a favourite J pastime. And that comment right there, I'm sure, is going to get a nice little time out there from Jay. I am sure. So 26 minutes to go here of the first half. Brandon Wakeham trying to make it a 3 conversion game. Logan says Bullerish is clear on the Cook Islands. Yeah, no, he is killing them right now. He is killing them. 3 tries in the opening 15 minutes. Just too easy for Fiji. It was off a mistake from the Cook Islands, but Dream Buller has already scored 3 tries in 14 minutes here, so he could be on for an absolute whopper of a game. And another kick hits the post and goes in, so it's 18-0. Hits the post, and it's 18-0 pois. Well, if you're expecting a really close game here today, guys, it's not looking likely. No, it's not looking too likely here. Not looking like the greatest of contests. 3 tries in 14 minutes is just insane work. Insane work. Michael, mate, you can't just go quiet now, buddy. You can't just go, oh, that's out in the full again. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, I can't do it. Cook Islands, I can't do this. I can't do this. We're going to be here for 80 minutes. You've kicked the ball out twice on the full off the kickoff. They've kicked the ball out twice on the full off the kickoff. It's a penalty for Fiji at the halfway point. They're going to tap this. They're just going to tap it because of the wind. I know the wind is strong, but you saw that in the first one. Why would you not readjust for the second one? Stop kicking the ball long. It's clearly not working, Cook Islands. It's clearly not working. So first tackle for Fiji at the 40. They go to the left-hand side. And Kurt Donahue. Now Michael Jennings. He's 30 metres out here from the line. Andrew Foster's just called him the grey ghost because of his grey hair. It's hilarious. Caleb Navale out to Donahue. Donahue to Brendan Wakeham. Wakeham gets it across now to Semi Valame. And Valame will be 20 metres away here from the line. Third tackle. They go out to the left. Brandon Wakeham, Kurt Donahue. Now Caleb Navale. And Navale will be at the 18. Who does Navale play for again? Is it? It's not Cowboy. Oh, Manly, maybe? Manly, is it? It's going to be a dropout coming up here. I would assume unless he can get out. Can he get out? Can he get out? Can he get out? He cannot get out. And this is going to be a dropout from the Cook Islands to Fiji. Is Caleb Navale Manly? I think he is, isn't he? Caleb Navale. Ew. He is, yeah. Caleb Navale is Manly. I actually remember he had a couple of good games this year. Especially later on in the year, he had some pretty decent performances when he was coming in for the Manly Seagulls. Sean says they are playing Fiji. They are playing Fiji, but I will say Fiji hasn't been overwhelmingly spectacular. Cook Islands have just been really poor in a lot of ways. But now Fiji are obviously clearly getting some really good momentum, and they're just going to win this game 50+, dude. They really are. Second tackle here at the 23. And they'll go left. Tungi to Mua to Brendan Wakeham. Wakeham goes it himself. He'll be 15 metres out, third tackle. With the defence we've seen from Cook Islands so far, I wouldn't be surprised if Fiji just score every single time they come down here, especially with their exceptional talent they do have. Donahue flicks it over the top here for Sundu Torova. Torova runs it to himself, and he'll be 10 metres away from the line, fourth tackle. 10 metres away, 4 tackle. Now they go to the rights. Kamitha, strong run, but he'll be 1 metre out from the line. Fit tackle. Fit tackle. Out to Wakeham. Wakeham then to Donahue. They got numbers. He gets the ball offloaded. Back onto the inside. Baller then gets it across to Donahue. Donahue. It's still last tackle. They kick this ball through. And it's going to be Cook Islands ball at the 3. That was really awful attack. And awful broadcast as well. The broadcast was completely all over the shop just then. But now second tackle for the Cook Islands. They're only 2 metres out from their own line. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. Oh my gosh, it's third tackle. No, it's a penalty, Cook Islands. Good. All right. Let's see something here. Cookies? Let's see something. That was way too early. They're obviously trying to really force him down there inside their own 10, but he left the line way too early. So Cook Islands will be at the 30. And let's see something here, Isan. First tackle now for the Cook Islands, and they're going to be at the 40. Oh, this broadcast is awful. They need to fix their broadcasting in Papua New Guinea. They really do. Their camera work needs assistance. Their connectivity is just not fantastic at the moment. It's like cutting and slowing and whatnot. It's really odd. Third tackle at the 50. The quality is clearly not to the standard that you would expect for a professional international game. Sean James says, Fiji, Tonga and Samoa, never easy playing against these gentlemen. Fiji, I would put into that category. Tonga and Samoa are very clearly, part of the heavyweight brigade nowadays. 10 years ago, they were less than Fiji. Nowadays, they're above Fiji quite considerably in a lot of ways. But I still think Fiji would give them a good run, full strength. Dream Buller gets away from the 1 tackle and then brings it out to the 10 on first tackle. Fiji are never easy to play. When Papua New Guinea plays anyone but Fiji in the big dog brigade, most teams find it quite easy against them, but Papua New Guinea for some reason always beat Fiji. Fiji are a lot better against the big dogs than Papua New Guinea are against the big dogs, but again, Fiji lose to Papua New Guinea usually. But Samoa and Tonga, that's a penalty to Fiji at the 30. But Samoa and Tonga, they're, are part of the heavyweight brigade nowadays. So 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. It's 18-0 Fiji. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. And already, currently speaking, we're waiting for tomorrow's New Zealand Samoa game. Fiji now get this ball to the halfway point. Look at the quality of this broadcast, dude. What are we looking at this in 3D? Are we watching this game in 3D right now? Gee whiz. It's like we're watching the game in 3D without the 3D glasses. Where it's like blurry and choppy and you understand what's happening, but it's just all it's like you need 3D glasses to watch this game right now. Third tackle at 25. And Kadab Navale with a strong run to the 18. Fourth tackle. Brandon Wakeham underneath to Kamikamitha. He's 9 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. Now Tangi Tuimua. He'll kick it through. Trot on Fiji! I think it's Caleb Navale. Oh, they're going to check this. They're going to check this for what? Oh, okay, Michael, I get you now. The other is Sean James. What's Sean done? Sean has been called the dreamer here. Lagan's definitely a dreamer. So they're checking the bunker here. Lagan's definitely a dreamer. Sean, what's he done to be a dreamer? So Tangi Tuimua, unless they're saying maybe offside. Well, he's definitely onside. There's nothing wrong with the onside. If he gets his ball down. Calnavale. Oh, let's see his slow-mo. Originally, I thought that he got this ball down. I want to see the angle from the other side here. I think this angle looks okay. Yeah, I think he scored this. You can't take him off him for that. You can't take it off him for this. Is this the only angle we're going to get? Okay, I don't know why we have to go all the way back here. I don't know why we have to go all the way back here. What? Oh, this is the angle here. Okay, beautiful. Alright, this will be the angle it tells you because the other angle looked good. And Navali. Oh. I think. So they've called this I think they've called this a try. You don't get to hear the bunker on the broadcast, and it will be a try time for Fiji. They supported the live decision of try. A live decision on field as try. So it is a try time. It's 22-0 with the kick come. Navale. Live in the land of smiles. Yep. Thailand. Thailand. Beautiful country. Steve says tomorrow's game should be Ripper. Absolutely. The issue with the Pacific Championships, and I'm sorry Cook Islands fans, but this has to be said. The issue is that any game not involving Cook Islands in the Pacific Championship should be good this year. Papua New Guinea versus Fiji should be great, and we will see it twice. New Zealand versus Samoa, New Zealand versus Tonga, and Tonga versus Samoa should be fantastic. All three of them. And then we will see one of those games twice. And then we've got Australia versus England 3 games, and I would highly expect all 3 games to be quality. The only issue is, unfortunately, Cook Islands are not up to the same standard. So every game that you see Cook Islands is going to be quite underwhelming, whilst every other game should be quite strong. Brenton says, Dylan Blaze from Shoal Bay, New South Wales. Dylan Brenton from Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Dylan. And this afternoon, get around you, Andrew. Ibrahim says, one more converted try and we can speak of a specific number. Well, I can speak about it whenever I want, but you can't speak about it whenever you want. Yeah, one more converted try. Right now, this is looking like we're probably going to be seeing a sexy 70, dude. We actually genuinely could be seeing a sexy 70 today with the way this game is shaping up as we currently speak. So they have actually... Oh my gosh, they nearly got the ball back. They kicked it shorter, so it didn't go out in the full at the very least, and Fiji will get this ball to the 10. The ball nearly bounced over the dead ball line this time for the first time, but either way, Fiji now second tackle at 13. And they give it to Kamikamitha. And Kamikamitha gets the ball to the 20 on third tackle. Is Rinakama still on the field, by the way, after that injury? We'll find out right now because they go to the right-hand side. And Tane Milne looking for an offload after what we saw earlier in the game, Tane. Please don't offload the ball. Please. Now Fiji will bring this ball to the 40 on fifth tackle. That was Caleb Navale. I'm trying to see if Rinakama is still on. Yeah, I think Rinakama is still on. That's going to stay in the field. No, it's going to go out in the full. Oh my gosh, so many kicks out in the full from both teams today, specifically Cook Islands, but that one from Fiji. So it will be Cook Islands who get the ball at the 40. See the attack. Sport Reaction says Fiji are a level above PNG and Cook Islands. Is that right? Okay, well then why did Papua New Guinea flog the living shit out of Fiji in the Pacific Bowl final last year? Why do Papua New Guinea have a better record against Fiji than Fiji have against Papua New Guinea? Whilst I think that Fiji play better against the big dogs than Papua New Guinea play better against the big dogs, the cold-hearted truth is that Papua New Guinea, when it comes to playing Fiji, Papua New Guinea have the wood over Fiji. Third tackle here for the Cook Islands. They're 15 metres away from the line. Get around your Olivia. I'll read that out in 1 second. They go to the right-hand side. Pedersen Bati, and then they get slapped back at the 7. Fourth tackle. Here's a chance of Cook Islands. Here's a chance of the Cook Islands. You don't see this much. They go to the right. Really good rush-up defense there from Penioni, Tangi Tui Mua. You love to see that. Fifth tackle here for the Cook Islands. 10 metres away from the line. They roll this back. Now to the left. And they put it up into the air. Very basic kick. And Fiji with an easy grab. And they'll be taken out of the 5. First tackle. Livery with the $8 dude donation. Get around your Olivia says go Fiji. Waiting to see Crowded House. Get around your Olivia. Thank you very much for the donation. And Dosso Viti. But sport reactions. I would love for you to explain to me why Fiji, and this is coming from someone who is outside of Australia, will support Fiji. From someone like that who disagrees with you, why would I be like? What are you saying? What are you seeing that is wrong to how I'm believing? And it says, I heard that you, what are you talking, bro? No. Fifth tackle here at the 45. Olivia says, why not Fiji? What do you mean, why not Fiji? I love Fiji. Fiji me. Doesn't Fiji even level. Huh? What do you mean not Fiji? We love Fiji. Fifth tackle at the 25. I was talking to Sport Reactions, Olivia. And now Fiji getting offload away. It's still fit tackle. Caleb Navale. Dream Buller. He'll get the offload away late. They get it across to the right side. Tane Milne. He'll give it across here to Semi Valame. He kicks the ball back onto the inside. The ball will be picked up here by Kalis Patoko. And he will bring it out to the 12 on first tackle. They'll be going for New Zealand tomorrow. No, Olivia. No, you will not be. No, you'll be going for Australia tomorrow. You'll be going for Australia tomorrow. Australia don't play until next Saturday, but you'll be going for Australia tomorrow. Tom says, think some underestimate the PNG team. Tom, this is always the case, and this is what I spoke about in the pre-discussion, the pre-game analysis. Papua New Guinea are always underrated. Oh, that's going to be a penalty here to the Cook Islands for offside against Fiji, which they've done a couple of times today. Papua New Guinea aren't underrated when it comes up against New Zealand, Australia, Samoa, and Tonga. You will see those teams beat them quite convincingly, and they're not underrated. But they are underrated against Fiji because there's something about that matchup Papua New Guinea always seem to do better in. I think Fiji NRL players are way better than Papua New Guinea, just don't play together as well and don't have a cup team. Okay, but again, go to the most recent Papua New Guinea versus Fiji game, which was the Pacific Bowl in 2024, and we saw... Hold on, where's the Pacific Bowl? Where is it? Was it last year? Where's the final game? It's not showing the final game here. It's just got the New Zealand versus Papua New Guinea and Kangaroos versus Tonga. Anyway, oh, and Cook Islands in my score! Cook Islands will score! Sorry, I got distracted there. Anyway, bro, it's disrespect Papua New Guinea, what you're saying. It's disrespect Papua New Guinea, because Papua New Guinea won the Pacific Bowl last year, beating Fiji. But Fiji will concede and Cook Islands will score, so I got a bit distracted there by trying to explain to Mrs. Sport Reactions that Fiji constantly lose to Papua New Guinea, despite having the better paper team. They have a better team on paper, but they always seem to lose to them. But Cook Islands will score. Right next to the post. Warriors is Bula. Toso Viti Toso. Vanaka for tuning in, brother. Bosso. But unfortunately, you tuned in at the wrong times because Cook Islands just scored. Cook Islands just scored. And it's 24-4 with a kick to come. Fiji, too good in this game, though. Marcus says, kia ora. But yeah, Thailand, people always underestimate Papua New Guinea when they play Fiji, which is exactly what Sport Reactions is doing right now. Anyone who watches the internationals enough and anyone who takes notice of Papua New Guinea versus Fiji knows that whilst Fiji have a better team on paper, Fiji usually lose to Papua New Guinea. Last year, Papua New Guinea 22, Fiji 10. Am I thinking about 2023 then? Yeah, 32-12. 32-12 in the final last year. In 2023, sorry. 32-12 to Papua New Guinea over Fiji. And then last year, Papua New Guinea beat Fiji 22-10. So the last 2 years in a row, Papua New Guinea beaten Fiji, mind you. And then in 2023, it was 32-12 to Papua New Guinea in the final. Sean Dane says, Michael, New Zealand and Oz not won the same level. I thought I was being obvious. New Zealand and Australia aren't the same level. Australia is on a very clear and above level. New Zealand would be decently enough behind, not slightly behind, but decently enough behind, but also well in advance of the others. Kay says Tasmania should have a team. No, they should not. So 11 minutes and 44 seconds to go here the first half. It's Fiji 24, Cook Islands 6. Cook Islands come back. Let's bring a powerhouse team. Don't know about that one, Logan. Just about 10 minutes ago, you were saying the Cook Islands are cooked. But at least they've scored. At least they have scored. But you've got to remember the Fiji are playing into the breeze in this first half, and they will get this. Oh no, they knocked the ball back, but Cook Islands will grab it. They are playing into the breeze, so that should actually be helping Cook Islands in this first half, but it has not been the case. Second tackle for the Cook Islands there at the 42. You can't kick that ball deep going that way with how strong this wind is. Just imagine if the final score from here was 24-25 Cook Islands win. It's just not going to happen, but it's nice to be a dreamer. Well, there you go, Michael. There's your dreamer right there. I know you called him a dreamer before, which you're right about, and that's a dreamer right there with that kind of comment. Fit tackle here for the Cook Islands at the 25. They go to the left-hand side. And they kick this ball up into the corner where Dream Baller should grab it pretty easily. Good chase through from the Cook Islands, which will keep him down there at the 1. Bit of biff up between Sean and Mitchell. Yeah, throw it around. Have a bit of a crack. And it's also Michael, not Mitchell. Aussie playing in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah. I don't think Sean's arguing that, though. I think Sean's talking about the level that these two teams are at, and then I think that you're talking about Australia playing against England in England, whilst New Zealand are playing in the Pacific Cup in New Zealand. Is that what we're talking about here? Is that the confusion? Why haven't they released the Ashes starting 17 yet? Because the Ashes aren't on until next week. So Teamless Tuesday is when it always gets mentioned. That's going to be a good kick there, and the wind brings it back, but it'll be Cook Islands to get the ball to 30 on first tackle. Sport Reactions, you are very well aware of a Teamless Tuesday. Casey says, in my opinion, this is one of the best Aussie teams. Definitely not the best, but one of. It's a very good Australia team, which you're always going to get. 10 minutes to go the first half for you guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. But people always underestimate England. England surely won't win. Australia should win all 3 of them, but England will give it a red hot crack. There is an injury right now for one of the Fijian boys. God bless him. Fit tackle now for Cook Islands. They're 24 metres away from the line. They go to the left. And, it's a crunching hit. He's been whack-a-mundoed. Whack-a-mundo. Tane Milne just annihilates him, and it's a knock-on from the Cook Islands. Fizz man says, last time the Bati impressed me was when they beat the Kiwis in that one World Cup some years back. Been hot and cold ever since. Are you talking about the game they actually lost to New Zealand? It was a controversial game. Let me quickly have a look here. And they only lost by 6. Is that the game you're referring to? Let me have a look here. Because I can't remember Fiji beating New Zealand in the last World Cup. Or are you talking about back in like 2007? No, you couldn't be. I'm trying to find the World Cup here, but it's not showing me. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing where it says World Cup here. Are you talking about the one where it was like 24-18 and Fiji, it was a controversial loss? All right, so Fiji will get this ball to the 25, third tackle. Muddle says, I hope you guys handle the broadcasting and commentary when PNG gets in. If the NRL just gives money to better equipment, that money will get pocketed. Honestly, Fiji will get this ball here at 23. I get your complaints because this has been really poor broadcasting quality. Really poor. Really poor. Fourth tackle here at the 20. So I get your complaints and criticism. Whatever the mindset for those English players. Alright, so there's an injured player in backfield right now. Who is the injured player? They've stopped the clock. It's Kitiona Kautonga. God bless him. Yeah, Madu, it's been really poor. I said before, it's like watching... Oh, well, that's just soft. Is there a leg injury? No, there's nothing... There's just a collision. There's nothing wrong with the hit. I'm surprised he actually injured from it. But, yeah, Madu, I said before, it's like watching 3D without the 3D glasses. That's how I've described today. It is like watching 3D at the cinemas without the 3D glasses. So it's like blurry. There's like 2 shots of it kind of combined-ish, and it's just weird. Left-hand side, and we're going to see Fiji 3 metres away from the line. Oh, it's fit tackle. Why? It's fit tackle. 225 lights come on. It's an international game. You'll see a lot more people come in for games like tomorrow. When the Cook Islands play, you're not going to see a great deal of interaction. But when you see Samoa versus New Zealand tomorrow, will be huge. You'll see big views and whatnot for the big games. But not many people are going to care too much about this matchup here today. And not many will care too much about Papua New Guinea versus Cook Islands. But then again, Papua New Guinea fans will really get behind Papua New Guinea in that one regardless. But Fiji versus Cook Islands don't necessarily garner a fantastic amount of traction, and people will be very aware that this scoreline is very much what was expected. Beer Goggles is a great example too, Jay, yeah. So Cook Islands, they'll be at the 40 on fit tackle. Esam Masters rolls it back. And here comes a kick. Let's see what happens with this because of the wind. It goes up, it goes deep. Let it bounce. Let it bounce, and that will go dead at... Yeah, it will just go dead. So a 7-tackle set coming up for Fiji at the 20. So, Beesman, are you talking about the one that I'm talking about? Are you talking about that game that they got knocked out to New Zealand, but it was a very close game? I don't think Fiji have been ultimately impressive in this game so far. Okay, I factor in the scoreboard, but I don't think they've been ultimately impressive. First tackle. Now they'll get this ball to the 50 on second tackle. 6 minutes to go here in the first half. And Semi Valame. Oh, geez, like, look at this broadcast. I'm watching 3D without the 3D glasses. This is beer goggles shit. That camera, whatever, stop putting it on that camera because it's beer goggles 1,000,000,000%. Kitione Katonga gets his ball to the 20. It'll be 4 tackle and he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. I'm going to put something on my Instagram story here. I'm going to say the same thing. I'm actually going to say what I'm saying here in regards to the 3D glasses thing. Hold on. I tell you what, so we're currently live streaming here on BK Sport on the YouTube for the Fiji vs Cook Islands game. I've got to be honest, the broadcasting of Papua New Guinea needs to improve dramatically for when they come into the competition and for the rest of this tournament because it genuinely looks like we're watching the game in 3D but without the 3D glasses. The broadcasting quality has been so poor. It's like slow motion at times. There's one angle where there's 2 different shots and it's just like very stop and starty, a bit blurry as well. The camera work has been quite poor, and I just need to see much better quality going into the future because, as someone said in the chat just before, it looks like we're watching this with beer goggles. The quality is really, really poor for an international competition, and we saw this last week with the PMXII game as well, so it's a bit disappointing right now, but the scoreline is very understandable. Cook Islands might get away here. They'll be taking it up to 45, so I'm just uploading this to Instagram right now. And there we go. Third tackle here at the 35. Now at the 30, fourth tackle. Okay, so it's off topic, but your thoughts on Craig maybe coming to the GC? I can't really talk too much. Fifth tackle now for the Cook Islands. They're going to be at the 24. At the 24. Now to the left-hand side. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd know my opinions. Though, to an extent. Oh, they've dropped the ball, and Cook Islands going to score. Oh, no, it's going to be a penalty, Fiji. It's going to be a penalty Fiji here. No try. They're not even going to look at the bunker. They're just going to say straight up penalty. Low scoring one, 6-2, I think. No try scored. Oh, that's gone back years, isn't it, Bees, man? Like 2013, maybe? It says this is a penalty Fiji. 2013 Rugby League World Cup, maybe? I'm going to have a look here. Yeah, no, so it wasn't 2013. Maybe it was 2017? 2017 Rugby League World Cup. Fiji weren't in their groups. It would have had to have been the elimination. Fiji only lost 18-0 in that game to Australia. Oh, another time they lost to Papua New Guinea, by the way, 10-0. I need to go. Where's the finals? So Fiji are going to be fourth tackle at 38 on the Cook Islands side of the field, mind you. And now 25 metres out, fifth tackle. I'm still trying to find these results from 2017. For some reason, on NRL.com, I couldn't find the World Cup draw. And Donahue out to the left. Dream Buller already scored 3 tries. Kicks it through for himself, and he will score a 4th try. The Dream Buller will score 4 tries and make it 28-6 with the kid to come. Dream Buller with 4 tries today so far. He has been absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. He's having a day out. Alright, so Australia, Fiji 54-6. Ah, there you go. Yeah, it was 2017. It was 2017 in the quarterfinals. Fiji won 4-2. It was, yeah, no try scored. Sean Johnson kicked 1 goal in the 45th for the penalty, and then Fiji kicked 1 in the 15th and the 62nd minute. Yeah, Fiji won 4-2. What a what a ridiculous scoreline. And then Fiji went on to get punched them out by Australia 54-6. That was the year the controversial England-Tonga game. That was that year. So yeah, 4-2, even closer than what you suggested there, Bees, man. Jay says they got 600 mil of our taxpayer money. Should be able to get a half-decent video cam. You'd hope so. But Fiji, from as far left as you can possibly imagine, to make it a 30 points to 6 ball game with a minute 30 to go here of the first half. But Dream Baller, he could score bloody 10 tries today. He could score 100 tries today. He's on ridiculous fire, son. Fire. Because there's no way that we can see in the NRL this quality. Not player performance-wise, but there's no way that you can see this broadcasting quality in the NRL when Papua New Guinea come in. And this is why I said I doubt 2028 is a reasonable number. I think 2029, 2030 is when Papua New Guinea probably come in. I do not think that effectively 2 seasons away, 2 full seasons away is when we'd be seeing Papua New Guinea coming in. Perth makes sense. Perth makes sense coming in 2027. I really feel like Papua New Guinea Chiefs should come in about 2029, 2030, probably more so 2030, but 2029 is probably when they'll rush it in. They need to improve the broadcasting. It's a 6-0 final odds versus England as well in that 2017 World Cup. Yep. All right, so Brandon Wakeham here from the far wing. He's been perfect today with the kicks, especially against difficult conditions. I don't know if he gets this one. It'd be amazing if he gets this. And he will miss that kick. It would have been amazing for him to get that kick and be perfect in the first half and going against the wind and very strong at that. But it stays 28 points to 6 with a minute to go of the first half. Beastman says, yeah, we were punished by Australia. Yeah. Yes, you were. But again, Fiji play New Zealand quite well. Papua New Guinea play Fiji very well and struggle elsewhere. Fiji play New Zealand very well and then struggle elsewhere. I do feel like Fiji versus Samoa will be closer than people imagine. Fiji versus Tonga could be a bit of a mismatch. No, sorry. Fiji versus Tonga could be an interesting matchup, full strength on full strength. But Fiji versus Samoa, I feel like it's a mismatch in Samoa's favour. LSD quality. Dude, it's awful. It really is awful right now. So Fiji at the 38. And now there'll be third tackle at the 42. Tell you what. Cook Islands against Papua New Guinea is going to be similar. Fourth tackle. Cook Islands haven't shown much in this game at all. And again, they've had the win at their backs in the first half. 18 seconds to go in the first half. Well, we're definitely not going to be seeing a field goal here today, Jay, against this win. Maybe the second half, but not right now. Fifth tackle. 10 seconds to go in the first half. They roll it back. Tangi Tuimua. Brandon Wakeham. Wakeham at the back here. We might just see another try. Dream Buller. He'll get away from one. He gets the offload away. And then they offload. That's a knock on. There's a knock on. Yep, there's a knock on. And that, my friends, will be the halftime score. And you can see that Rinakama is off the field right now. He has got his arm in inside his jersey there to hold it up. So obviously he's hurt his wrist or his forearm or his hand or whatnot, which sucks to see. God bless him. But it is halftime score here of 28 points to 6 to Fiji. Let's run through these team stats, which are not going to be fantastic for the Cook Islands. That is for sure. But hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you haven't already, go subscribe to BKRtravel. We are super close to 1,600 subscribers over there. And we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is definitely doable. So go subscribe to BKRtravel in the pinned comment. Now, tries for Fiji. Dream Buller. He has scored 4 tries so far, and Caleb Navale is the one who scored the 5th. Kale Iro is the only try scorer for the Cook Islands, which does make sense. Go to the possession. 61% possession of Fiji, 39% to Cook Islands. Obviously dramatically in favour of Fiji, and it doesn't help that Cook Islands keep kicking the ball out on the full. Time and possession. 14 minutes and 56 seconds for Fiji, 10 minutes and 19 seconds for the Cook Islands. That is because he's seeing a lot of tries, but overall Fiji have got a whopping amount of time at the ball at 15, basically 15. So we're basically just seeing over 25 minutes of gameplay here, 25 minutes and 20 seconds or so. It's nothing spectacular, but at least it's hitting the 25-minute threshold. 15 minutes is a lot of time possession though for Fiji. You go to the completion rate, you want to be seeing at least 80%. Fiji are actually at 70%, 14 from 20, so they're making more mistakes here. They've had 5 more sets than Cook Islands, but 70% is not spectacular. That is 10% under the break even for a completion rate. And then Cook Islands, they're actually at 80%, 12 from 15. So they're holding the ball more often than not. They've had 3 less incomplete sets. They've had 5 less sets in total, but 3 less incomplete sets. 2 less incomplete sets at 12 from 15, whilst Fiji at 14 from 20. So Cook Islands, when they've got the ball, are holding it better, but they're still getting trounced on. Attacking wise, 99 runs here for Fiji for 925 run meters. That is going to blow out in the second half. Again, Fiji are running into the wind. So they are 65 run meters behind the 10 meters on average per run. That is a very solid number. Whilst Cook Islands are at 68 runs for 497 run meters, and that is with the wind at their backs. So they are a full-on 180 run meters behind the 10 minutes on average per run that you are looking for. So that is pretty dramatic there, that Fiji are running against the wind, Cook Islands running to the wind, with the wind, and Cook Islands are 180 metres behind the 10 metres on average per run that you look for, and Fiji are only 65 run metres behind. So Fiji are dominating this department, absolutely dominating the run metres, and the post-contact metres as well. They do have 68 to 99, so that's 78, 88, 98. That's 31 extra runs for Fiji, which makes sense, and the post-contact metres reflect this at 261 post-contact to 167. But again, that's 167 post-contact meters with heavy wind behind you and 261 post-contact meters with heavy wind against you. So it's even more in favour of the Fijians there. Line breaks 3-1 Fiji, not as expansive as you would actually imagine, but Fiji's still winning it. Tackle breaks is 15-10. Not a great deal of missed tackles in this game. Not a fantastic amount of missed tackles in the game, which is actually quite impressive here from both teams. More so specifically for Fiji, but 15-10 tackle breaks Fiji way is actually not too bad overall. Average set distance, and this is a key telling point here. 25 and under, you turn the stream off, it's pathetic. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is basically perfect. Fiji's at 46.26. So they're in the low to mid-range of a fantastic category. They're getting plenty of meters here. And again, to reiterate, they're going heavy against the wind. I guarantee that blows out to 50 meters average set distance by the end of this game. I nearly guarantee they will get to the 50 meters by the end of the game with the wind at their backs, as long as the wind stays strong in the second half. So 46.26 is fantastic, whilst Cook Islands, they're not even hitting the marker of 35. They are in underwhelming at 33.15. They're at least the mid-range of the underwhelming at 33.15. But that is still a full 13 metres less on an average set than what you're seeing from Fiji. So the Cook Islands are really struggling here, again, with the wind at their backs. Average play the ball speed, 3.33 seconds for Fiji is fast, whilst the same thing for Cook Islands at 3.33. They're both the exact same play the ball speed here. Offloads is 7.2 for Fiji. So a lot of offloads from Fiji. And then we are seeing force dropout, 1-0 Fiji. Kick defusal is 80% for Fiji, 60% for the Cook Islands. And then we go to the effective tackle percentage, which isn't as awful as you would think, but still Cook Islands are quite low. So 85% and below is disgusting. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is absolutely spectacular. The Fijians are at 90.65%, so they're into the fantastic, spectacular category. 126 tackles made for 10 missed tackles and 3 ineffective. An average amount of missed tackles NRL level-wise is 15 to 17.5. They're at 10, so they're 5 underneath the lowest of the averages there. At 10, that's very, very good. You would still like it to be a little bit more limited considering the opposition they're going up against, but still 10 is very good on an average. And then 3 ineffective tackles is about 3 less than the 6 or 7 average that you will see for ineffective tackles and a half. So 3 less ineffective tackles than the average, 5 less missed tackles than the average. That's why it's at 90.65% for Fiji. And then you go to the 85.51% here for the Cook Islands, which is at least scraping the underwhelming category, but it's still underwhelming, and at the lower end of that too. You want to be seeing at least 88%. They're at 85.51%. Tackles made is 177 for 15 missed tackles and 15 ineffective tackles. So the 15 missed tackles is right on the average, and the lowest of the averages are 15 to 17. I don't actually think that's that bad considering. I think that against some bigger teams like your Samoas and Tongas and whatnot, they're going to have 30 to 40 missed tackles at half time. So 15 missed tackles isn't as bad as you would have expected, especially with the scoreline and especially with the opposition they're going up against. 15 missed tackles isn't as bad as you probably would have thought, but the 15 ineffective tackles is awful because the average is 6 to 7, so they've gone over that by 8 on the highest of the averages there. That's really poor. So 30 bad tackles for Cook Islands in the first half, 13 bad tackles for Fiji in the first half, but the majority of Fiji's are missed tackles with a limited amount of ineffective, whilst the missed tackles and ineffective for Cook Islands are the exact same there at 15. One being really poor in the ineffective and the other being a lower of the averages, being mediocre in the missed tackles. Then go to the negative play. 6 errors for Fiji, 5 errors for the Cook Islands. That is quite considerable considering the difference. 4 and under is usually pretty good. 5 to 6 is average, and then 7 and above is very, very bad. They're both on the average there, but Fiji being at 6 is pretty noticeable. Penalties conceded is 4 for the Cook Islands, 2 for Fiji, and the ruck infringements is 2-1 Fiji. So overall, Fiji dominating this game, but it doesn't look like it on the eye test. Like eye test wise, Fiji haven't been that great. But when you're looking at the stats there, and also looking at the scoreline, this just is what it is. You know, this just is what it is. It was to be expected. Fiji should be winning this game 13+. There is no disagreement there. If you tipped Cook Islands to win 13+, it's either because you're from the Cook Islands or you just don't watch the international game to have an idea as much about what this game should be. Again, could the Cook Islands come back into this and make it a 1-12 loss? Sure. Can they win this game? No, I'm sorry. It doesn't happen. And if they do, Fiji should be relegated in a competition that there's no relegation from, because it just shouldn't be happening with the sizable difference between these two sides, especially the long-standing history of Fiji and the recent development of Cook Islands. It shouldn't be happening. So this is an understandable result right now. I would like to see Fiji doing better, but we do need to wait for Fiji to play Papua New Guinea in a couple of weeks' time to realise where they're at. Because next week we will see Papua New Guinea take on Cook Islands, which we'll see a very similar performance here. We'll see a very similar game, if not even bigger, for Papua New Guinea. Whilst Game 3 will be Fiji versus Papua New Guinea in another 2 weeks' time. Sean says, it's not just a game of sport in Papua New Guinea. It stopped the money to Northern Hemisphere. It helped the South. Well, Papua New Guinea are getting plenty of money. They're getting plenty of money for what's happening. Mudder says they need to do a lot of it themselves to Aussie. If you just give people money here, it will disappear. I've worked at places like that. News says 600k was allocated. We only got 100k. Well, 600k has been allocated. Whether that's immediate or not, but it has been allocated. Talon says, I feel the Papua New Guinea expansion has such a significant political undercurrent that it's rushing it into the NRL. Correct, 100%. There's no debate about that. We all know the reasons why Papua New Guinea are being introduced into the competition. I am excited for it, and I'm also not excited for it. I'm excited for it on the sense of freshness. I'm excited for it on the sense of development of Papua New Guinea's international game. And I'm excited for the potential of another international team. But then again, the only international team we've got right now is the New Zealand Warriors, and they've never won before. So if the Warriors have never won before, and they've had some great chances at it in 2001 and also in 2011 and also in 2023, the Warriors still haven't been able to become successful yet. We've got Papua New Guinea coming in, and then we probably will bring a South Island New Zealand team in. That will be 3 international teams, but it's just going to be very difficult to see them actually go and get enough to actually go and win the competition. I find it very difficult. With that being said, Papua New Guinea were doubted coming into the Queensland Cup for the same reasons people are doubting them coming into the NRL. And they actually went and won the Queensland Cup. So whilst there's a very vast difference between the Queensland Cup and the NRL, there is enough there to say, well, people doubted the Papua New Guineans coming into the Queensland Cup for the very same reasons they're doubting them to come into the NRL. Well, they went and won the Queensland Cup despite all those doubts. Well, maybe something could change, especially considering if they can get an international Papua New Guinea team in to go up against, a filtered competition of Australian players and New Zealand players across a comp. But overall, Papua New Guinea could have a potential starting 17, Kumul's team, as their domestic team, which would give a decent enough chance, but I still, it's still so difficult to see. But there is the tax-free stuff that's being mentioned as well. It's very interesting, but obviously the intention behind it is not pure, unfortunately. The intention behind it is simply, it's just simply not pure. Whilst I support Papua New Guinea and their fans, I have also seen probably a majority of Papua New Guinea fans also not agreeing with the inclusion. Muddy says, are they doing the promotion thing from Boulder Cup this year? I said this before the game started. By the way, it's still half-time here, guys. 28-6 to Fiji. I don't know, because the Pacific Bowl is Cook Islands, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea. The Pacific Cup is New Zealand, Samoa, and Tonga. And Australia, they're over playing in England. Now, we would assume that next year Australia come back from England to go straight back into the Pacific Cup, especially with being the current champions. They would come straight back into the Pacific Cup. So that means that one of New Zealand, Samoa, or Tonga would have to vacate. Now, I would assume, based off of Samoa playing in England recently and Tonga playing in the year before, that New Zealand will be the team to go and play England in next year's international series, right? So that means that Australia would come directly back in for New Zealand. But if New Zealand was to come third, and then to play in the promotion relegation game, and let's say that they lost that game, well then let's say Papua New Guinea/Fiji get up into it. So then that would be Samoa, Tonga, Papua New Guinea/Fiji, and then Australia. That's 4 teams, which doesn't make sense. But if Tonga/Samoa came third, and then lost the game to, say, Papua New Guinea or Fiji, then you could still do it, because then, let's assume Fiji go into the Pacific Cup, say Tonga comes out of the Pacific Cup, so Tonga comes down, Fiji goes up, and then with New Zealand withdrawing, it's basically just a direct swap of Australia and New Zealand. I'm not too sure. So I would love for someone to clarify if there is a championship tier promotion relegation between the two, because I don't know necessarily how it would work with the fact that Australia will inevitably come back in. But it says next year's the World Cup, you muppet. Okay, well then let's talk about 2027 then. Same thing goes to 2027. You're right, I forgot about the World Cup. But, okay, 2027. The same thing would apply. Unless, because you're going to put Australia into that Pacific Championship in 2027. And then, okay, I would feel that New Zealand will be on the international series in 20... It's the exact same thing. Okay, muppet. Okay, muppet. Let's talk about this then. Rugby League World Cup next year. Well, let's apply the same discussion to 2027 then. You are a muppet. It's the exact same discussion, just added on a year. The exact same discussion, Michelle. Just added on to an extra year. Yeah, gee whiz. Tigers fans, eh? Unbelievable, Mitchell. Unbelievable. We've got the exact same problems. Yes, there is. Men's Pacific Cup, first versus second. First versus second. Oh, but is there a still a promotion relegation thing? Obviously, it'd be 2 years away, but anyway. So the second half is about to start here. Cook Islands will be kicking it off to Fiji. And we are back on the Beer Goggles webcam. We are back on the Beer Goggles webcam. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Fiji will grab the ball at 28. The wind is still very strong. Dasmate says, did you just say the average is 6 to 7? Yeah, the average of ineffective tackles is usually 6-7, yeah. So second tackle now for Fiji at the 35. And now they'll get this ball on third tackle to the 45. So I don't know how it all works. Well, they didn't just promote the Cup versus the Bowl, so I'm assuming that there is no promotion relegation this time around. Which makes it kind of intriguing what the point was to last year's one then. Fiji. Oh, knock on Fiji. Knock on Fiji. And it will be Cook Islands ball at the 45. Tyron says, bit off topic, but it may affect NRL's expansion plans. Do you have much thought about Rugby 360 and a possible exodus of top players? No. I think that if players want to do it, they can, but the NRL is taking a pretty strong stance in regards to it, whether it's legality-wise, whether legally they can do it or not. It will still be a deterrent in regards to the ramifications of your kind of thought process from the NRL. I feel like the NRL won't necessarily force, but they'll decisively encourage clubs to not sign R360 players. So whilst it's not necessarily 100% legal due to freedom of trade, I do believe that they have the ability to prevent players from coming back in from high encouragement, decisive encouragement from the NRL organisation to prevent clubs from signing. So whilst it may not be a genuine ban, it'll be a pretty much ban that clubs just won't necessarily sign. Fit tackle here, so I think that'll be enough of a deterrent for the most part, but you'll see some players go across. So fit tackle over the Cook Islands, they're 5 metres away from the line. They go to the right, off to Isan Masters. There's a try coming up here, you would assume. Oh, they get the ball offloaded. Oh my gosh, he hasn't scored. Oh my gosh, he didn't score. They've just blown a try here, Cook Islands. Oh, they've just blown a try. He's got held up. He just got held up. Oh my gosh. How have they stopped this try here, Fiji? And how have they not scored here, Cook Islands? Mudder says, even if there isn't a promotion, they should do the top of bowl versus the bottom of cup. Yeah, but you may as well do a promotion relegation at that point. So Cook Islands, I don't think they score here. I can't believe they haven't scored here. Sinatadorova with a great tackle there to prevent him from breaking through. The pass was nice. Dream Buller here has had an exceptional game. He's been able to stop this because he cuts back inside and then Michael Jennings, well, Buller stops him in his tracks and then Michael Jennings is the one who holds him up. Yeah, that's a great... Oh, he's lost the ball there too, I think. I think he lost the ball there as well, maybe. Either way, he doesn't score. It went up as a no try, and you're definitely not going to be able to overturn that. And this is actually fit tackle anyway. So it'll be Fiji ball. How are they going to have an NRL team in Papua New Guinea with this footage? One, it looks like it's recorded with the pinky toe, and two, the cameraman has the shakes. Yes, you're right. I've been speaking about this. It looks like we're watching it on beer goggles, and it looks like we're watching 3D without the glasses. Oh, it got close, actually, but it's no try. Mitchell says, Ruben Potter would have done a backflip while putting the ball down. Mitchell, I want you to answer my question. I want you to answer my question regarding 2027. Come on. Come on, hero. Come on, Mr. Knowledge. Mr. Knowledge of all things rugby league. Come on, I want you to answer my question. What happens in 2027 with the Pacific Championship? What happens? What happens, buddy? So Fiji, they will get this ball now to the 15 on first tackle after the no try. And Michael Jennings. And by the way, that was great defense from Michael Jennings, who was 37 years old. Great defense from him. Second tackle here for Fiji at the 22. They've got the wind at their backs this half. Let's see if they can capitalise on it. Oh my gosh, this broadcasting quality is just awful. It's really awful. Fourth tackle here at the 45, Tane Milne. He's always looking for an offload, that guy. It's just unfortunate that most of the offloads go to the opposition. And penalty to Fiji. Penalty Fiji at the 45. And Tanas, you're getting a 1 minute timeout for that. It's Tosso Viti. Tosso. Tosso Viti, not Tossa Viti. You are a tosser. You can get 1 minute timeout for that one. You're a tosser. What do you mean Tossa Viti? It's Tosso Viti. Oh, gee whiz. Deary me, Entertainers. What are you doing? Muddu says, it's very likely that camera is 10 plus years old. The best monitors for computers you can buy here are like 8 to 10 years old and cost 2 times more than when it was released. I did hear it's quite expensive. I spoke about this over on BKRtravel. Muddu, if you haven't subscribed to BKRtravel yet, it's in the pinned comment. I spoke about Papua New Guinea potentially coming there next year. So I'd actually appreciate if you could go comment on my Papua New Guinea video with your thoughts about if I should come to Papua New Guinea for a couple of months. Because I genuinely want like first-hand experience from Papua New Guineans or people over there to give me advice. Third tackle now at the 5. And Tangitui Mua short ball. Fiji will be about a metre out here from the line. A metre out before tackle. Roll it back to Tangitui Mua out the back again. They kick it through. Knock on there from Cook Islands. Fiji get the ball offloaded to... It's going to be a knock on here from Cook Islands. So it's just going to be Fiji ball at 10. Master says, I think I'm going to need glasses after this game. 3D glasses. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mitchell says, back to wanking to Taylor Smith and Travis Kelce you go. That is a very entertaining thing to do. Very entertaining thing to do. It's like the camera has a migraine. Honestly. Honestly, it's true. Ah, Gold Fijians in the audience. I feel like Fiji is going to score with ease on this set. I don't think that Cook Islands will be able to defend this with the wind at the Fijians' backs, and it'll take them all but literally one tackle. Oh, they knocked the ball on! They literally had an open line. There was an open line, and Sinatadorova just drops the ball cold. Well, it took them all but one to score, but unfortunately, it wasn't Cook Islands' defense that stopped them from scoring. It's just that Sinatadorova dropped a sitter into his hands. He just dropped a sitter. Dosoviti. Okay, that's better entertaining us. That is better. That is better. Very much so. 34 minutes to go here to game. But surely no one truly expected the Cook Islands to win this game. In a hotel, flight to the US tomorrow. Well, there you go. I'm still in Vietnam. I'll be off to Singapore next Friday. And then I'll be back in Fiji on the Monday afterwards. So Cook Islands now, they'll be at the 10. Is it your turn in the Chiefs organisation to circle jerk and suck off the refs there, Hayden? Is that why you're going over there? Because you and I very much know that was an extremely controversial game. You and I both damn well know it. So third tackle now for the Cook Islands at the 30. And now they'll get this ball to the 33 on 4 tackle. 4 tackle. And they go quickly. They've got space here. Carlos Paul Patocco. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, 25, the 20. Taken down. 20 metres away from the line. Carlos Paul Patocco's probably been the Cook Islands' best player here today. They go to the right, and that's over the top. That wind is going to help it. No, that's going to be caught in field. So Fiji could get away here. Oh, no, they'll be taking it out of the 10. No LeBron and Swift, no Mahomes. I'm done with travelling ever again. Ihsan Masters needs help. Well, bro, like, what do you expect with LeBron? LeBron is, what, 41? Yeah? How old is he? 40? LeBron James age. Yeah, 40 years old. He's 41 at the end of this year. What do you expect, bro? Don't make travel trips surrounding LeBron at 40, you know? I'm just grateful that we can still see him playing. Patrick Mahomes, though, should be fine. Out of the left-hand side, Caleb Navale offloads it, hits the ground again, but it goes backwards, it's fine. Fiji, get it away still, get it away. They flick it off. This is pure Fiji footy here with those offloads, 4 tackle. And there is an injury and back play here. God bless whoever's got the injury. I can't see who's got the injury. Oh, it's a Cook Islands player. And Tanner says, I haven't seen much of this match. I've seen Buller having some highlights while I was waiting for check-in. Buller scored 4 tries and also saved a try. Buller scored a hat-trick in the first 14 minutes of the game. Detroit have never lost 40-6 before. Philly puts in scrubs in a Super Bowl. We've definitely lost 40-6 before. But we've never lost a Super Bowl before, Detroit. We've never lost a Super Bowl before. LeBron got dudes acting up, man. Got to see him last year in a loss versus the Magic. I will forever be grateful, but 2 from 3 and watching him injured 2 weeks before I go was crazy work. One of my favourite experiences when I watched LeBron play against the Bulls in Chicago at the United Center, being in the house that Michael built whilst LeBron was there, slam dunking and shit. There's a vlog on this channel from it, actually, that you guys can look at. But I was at the Bulls versus the Lakers game and seeing a Lakers-Chicago game in the house that Michael built at the United Center. I think the Lakers definitely won that game, but LeBron went on a tear. And he was just unbelievable to watch. And good kick for Fiji! Oh, it'll go dead, though. 7 tackle set for Cook Islands coming up. Storm scored 2, and I think it was Waken with a nice short kicks. Buller's pretty much made himself these tries, to be fair. One kick was directly for himself, and the other one was off an offload from Renakama after Buller set it up too. Ultimately, Buller's done it all. Tanner says, well, I watched KC beat the Bills in Buffalo. I don't give a shit about Kansas City, mate. I hope your team folds after the bullshit we saw last week. Second tackle here at the 48. Like, there's no way that Chiefs fans genuinely believe that they don't have officiating favour at this point. There's no way that Chiefs fans have a legitimate... Oh, Tane Milne. Tane Milne's back, ladies and gentlemen. Tane Milne. Tane Milne is back, ladies and gentlemen. He's probably getting binned here, lads. Oh, Tane Milne's getting binned here, you reckon? And that's a classic Tane Milne high tackle. Marcel says, that is prime time Tane Milne, that. That is prime time Tane Milne. Oh, dude. There's no way that he stays on the field here. And he's in the bin. Tane Milne. I'm going to message Best Sport. Peak Tane Milne. Oh, man. I just messaged him because that's one of his favourite players. You're a Storm fan that supports the Chiefs. Nothing fishy about that. A lot of fishy things about that, Mr. Madu. A lot of fishy things about that. So Tane Milne goes to the bin. Were we surprised? Hey, remember when we were talking about this at the beginning of the game? We said it was 98 cents to 1 because it's such a guarantee that he gets binned that you lose money even if it wins. Well, there you go. Someone called at the start as well. Yeah, that's what I was just mentioning. Second tackle here for Cook Islands at the 15. And they're going to have some space here. They're going to be 3 metres away from the line. Third tackle, 30 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. They go for a quick play, and he'll be held up over the line. Oh, don't check the bunker, please. Just tell them to go back to the 10. No, I mean, supporting the Chiefs with their dodgy reffing makes me feel like a Storm fan. Oh, okay. Oh, dearie me, that touchdown getting called back last week was just horrific. Horrific stuff. So, there's nothing that's going to show him get this ball down here, and I don't believe he gets the ball down here. I don't even know why we're looking at this. Cook Islands need to give it to Premiership winner and Bronco Great Piakura. He's no Will Zillman. He's not claiming it, and he just wants him to get on with it. That tells us everything we need to know about this. Why are we checking this? It's a no try, and just play the ball at the 10 for tackle. I reckon interns are running the cameras and the broadcast over in Papua New Guinea. It is really poor stuff. It's really poor stuff broadcasting-wise. Yeah, we're supporting the on-field call. No try. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We called that about 100 years ago. Okay, let's get to 4 tackle at the 10, which is what we suggested about 34 years ago. No try. So, Cook Islands at the 10. Fiji would love the breather from that. And now they'll be 3 metres away from the line. Fit tackle. Can they get one here to make it a potential, to be fair, to come back to at least make it a 1 and 12? Oh, that's good defence. Oh, that's caught him 6 again. Why? Not square. What? They're literally at the goal line. That doesn't even make sense, that call. Anyway, Cook Islands got a fresh set of 6 here. First tackle, now they're 15 metres out. And they'll be 8 metres away now, second tackle. Now they go out to the left, and Mason Teague is going to be 5 metres away from the line, third tackle. So you break through here. Out 2 metres away here from the line. 4 tackle for the Cook Islanders. I'll break through. Gets a little bit of excitement going. Gets a little bit of excitement. Oh, they go quick. Oh, no, not the play. Not the play. 5th tackle for the Cook Islanders. 3 metres out. Good goal line defensive for Fiji. But, 6 again. 6 again for the Cook Islands. And now they've spread it out to the right. This may be a try here. This may be a try. Oh, they're going to hold him up again. This is actually solid goal line defence from Fiji still. Oh, that's right. I forgot the Fiji do have that man in the bin too. This is good goal line defence from Fiji. And Cook Islands again, 1 metre away from the line. Third tackle. This is good goal line scramble defence from Fiji. The Cook Islands, this is some bad decision-making plays though too. 4 tackle, 1 metre away from the line. Again, Fiji are down a man right now. And they're preventing this. But why do they keep going to short play? Good rush-up defense here. Great rush-up defense. They get the offload away to the back rower. Now they give it to Kale Ero. And they're 10 metres away from the line. Yeah, this is all with 1 man down. That's great. This is fantastic defense in Fiji, Madu. Out to the left. What do? They kick it through. Played up by Fiji. I think that might be a knock-on by the Cook Islands in the end. Yep, it is. It's going to be... Well, it's actually going to just be Fiji ball to 20. Okay, Fiji, that was incredible defense. That was incredible defense from Fiji. Hats off to you. Down a man, 3 straight sets within 5 metres of the line, 6 agains. That was spectacular defense from Fiji. Defense is all Dogs legend Brandon Wakeham. I thought you were about to say Death River Nakama there, and I was going to get you because he's not on the field because he got injured in the first half, unfortunately. So first tackle. Now, second tackle for Fiji, 40 metres away from the Cook Islands. This will be such a heartbreaker for the Cook Islands if the Fiji are able to score on this immediate set after what we just witnessed. But it will also be a fantastic sign for what Fiji is all about too if they can score here. Brandon Wakeham, he'll get it to Dream Buller. He's already scored 4 tries today. Tane Milne still 7 minutes to go here of his sin bin. 25 metres out, Brandon Wakeham. Would you say he's a Bulldogs legend or a Tigers legend, the old Brandon Wakeham? Fiji, 15 metres away. They go to the left. Brandon Wakeham. And he'll get that ball missed to Grassy McGrath. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you here, Daz. I think you should suggest that Brandon Wakeham is a Tigers legend. I think you should suggest that he's a Tigers legend after what that pass was just then. Cook Island, second tackle up to 20. That is my heavy suggestion for you, Mr. Daz. Second tackle. And now they'll get this ball to the 25. I just realised there's a new video coming out on BKRtravel as this game finishes. Oh my gosh, we're back to the 3D glasses. There's a video, a question asked by one of you guys on BKRtravel asking me what I've missed home the most after being away for 10 months. So that's the video that comes out quite literally as soon as this game finishes, this stream finishes. So fit tackle now for the Cook Islands at the 45. Too late, Daz. Already said Dogs legend. Yeah, no, Mitchell's got you there, Daz. Oh, the ball will bounce back here. Pretty lazy from Dream Buller, but then all they're going to say, the ball was dropped backwards. Cook Islands stopped the ball here to 30. Now to the right, Moroa. And Yorker. Back to Isan Masters. That's played it there by Fiji. It's 6 again here. Cook Islands have got the ball. And tackle count restarted. And they offload the ball. It's still Cook Islands' ball here, 10 metres away. They got a whole fresh set of 6. Just take the tackle. All right. So Fiji, let's see if their defense holds intact again. First tackle, 5 metres away. Cook Islands have had a ridiculous amount of opportunities here at the line. He scored! He has scored, and it is, I think, Brendan Piakura. No, it's not. Who is this number 20 here for the Cook Islands? Number 20 for the Cook Islands, it is Justin Makarere with the try time. So it will be Fiji 28, Cook Islands 10. And that bin finally caught up to the Fijians, and they do break through them. 28-10 with the kit to come. Powered through. Makarere. Well, they're within 18, 25 and a half minutes to go here of the game. Maybe going against the wind is helping the team out here today. Because Fiji had the better first half, and Cook Islands are the only team to score in the second half. Yeah, Fiji haven't scored yet. But then again, they've also got a Muppet on the field. Their completion rate is dreadful compared to Cook Islands. Fiji's completion rate is 65%, whilst Cook Islands is 86%. Tasman says, now how is Michael Jennings in an international side and Dylan Napa is not? Both are in the Ron Massey Cup. Oh my gosh, Dylan Napa still getting comments here. Cook Islands have had more line breaks than Fiji today. Alright. Well, a kick here makes it a 16-point game. Again, Cook Islands aren't winning this game, but I'm glad to see they're making it relatively competitive, considering the peak Tane Milne moment was always going to give him a better chance. Very much Tane Milne. Famous moment for Tane Milne. That's what he does. That is what he does. That is what this man does. I'm going to check what Best Sports put up, because I guarantee you he would have posted about Tane Milne. Show the next Milne. Alright, so Fiji will be kicking this ball off here to the Cook Islands with 24 and a half minutes to go here of the game. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow we do have Samoa versus New Zealand in the Pacific Cup. Oh, I can hear the Papua New Guinean commentary talking about Cook Islands on the comeback here. Let's see another try and then they'll be on a comeback. And Cook Islands will drop the ball, but it luckily goes backwards and doesn't go over the sideline. And Cook Islands will be first tackle here at the 15. At the 15. I would love to see them score another try, though, just to make it relatively interesting. Otherwise, it's going to be a boring end to this game. Second tackle here for the Cook Islands at the 24. And now a big run from Olberg to the 25. Gets the offload away, and they're still only at the 25. Third tackle. They've still got that man advantage for the next 2.5 minutes, Cook Islands. Come on. Come on. You've still got that man advantage for the next 2.5 minutes. And they're away here. They're away here. Oberg at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. Oberg for the Cook Islands. And he gets the offload away. Oh, but it hits the grass. And they still pick it up. Cook Islands are 10 metres away from the line. Fit tackle. Oh, my gosh. Cook Islands actually may score again right now. Fit tackle, 10 metres out. They got numbers. They got numbers left. Pass the ball left. Pass the ball left. You got a guaranteed try. Pass the ball left. You got an easy try. Pass the ball left. They didn't do it fast enough. They threw. Oh, bro, they bombed that try, bro. Oh my gosh, they may still score. Oh my gosh, they bombed that try. That was a bombing and a half, dude. Just pass the ball through the hands, dude. Get the ball through the hands. Take the. Oh my gosh, that was such a bomb try from the Cook Islands, man. They had so much space out there. Fiji scrambles decently well, but Cook Islands' attack played into their hands with how slow they passed it. They kept going for the real solid cutout balls, which was easily allowing Fiji to spread across the right, and they bombed that try badly there, the Cook Islands. They bombed that really poorly. All right, third tackle here for the Fijians at the 25. Fiji still has not scored in the second half, mind you. Minute 17 to go of the men in the bin for Fiji. Great hit there from the Cook Islands defense. 4 tackle Fiji at 33. Cook Islands are the better team in the second half. Maybe that wind being in front of you is actually helping these teams out today, because whoever's been playing into the wind has been playing better. And now Fiji will kick that ball down towards the 15, 10-5. And now Cook Islands are going to bring it back through Isam Ayoka to the 27. First tackle. Or maybe this is just coming down to Fiji getting complacent at halftime too, which is a heavy possibility based on what I was talking about pre-game. A heavy possibility. Second tackle now for Cook Islands at the 40. And Isan Masters. That might be a penalty here to Cook Islands. No, they won't call. I thought there was a tackle off the ball there. Third tackle now at the 48. Go to the left. And now they'll bring this ball to the 40 on 4 tackle. 21.5 minutes to go here in the game. And Cowley, fit tackle at the 28. That was actually a nice run into the line there from Cassius Cowley, their halfback. And very slow play the ball, though. Out to the right, Mason Teague, Isan Masters. He'll kick that ball up. It's in a decent enough area. We'll be allowed to bounce here. Why did the Cook Islands player duck underneath that? I will never know. And now it's fit tackle and Fiji just get the ball at 40. Why did they duck that? Why didn't you try to grab that ball? Why did he not try to grab that ball just then? That doesn't even make sense. I don't understand what has happened. Daz, mate, remember for 6 months, what was that? I don't know. I don't know why he didn't try to grab the ball. It was fit tackle, and then they just took the tackle on 5th when they caught it back at the 40. So 20 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget Samoa versus New Zealand tomorrow. We've got Payne Haas and Josh Papali'i going up against Leota. Moses Leota, and also, 1 second in Fiji, out of the left-hand side, Turuva, back at the 15, he cuts in, 10 metres out, and that, my friends, is not the game. He's just been held short here, 4 tackle. So, Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris versus Josh Papali'i and Payne Haas. Big game tomorrow. Out to the right, Fiji at the 15. That was actually really good to hold Turuva just short. 4 tackle now for Fiji. Surely you score. You've got your man back, and it's 6 again as well for Fiji, but they're not going to need it because Kitione Katonga, Booshka, Fiji will score. And that, my friends, should be the confirmation of the game. Fiji up 32-12 with a kick to come. Too easy there for Fiji. Their first points of the second half, and it is Kitione Katonga. It was just way too easy. 19.5 minutes left. It just says Terrell May clears all those bums. Terrell May? What are we talking about? Terrell May? Oh, you're talking about for Samoa. He's no Tino, mate. He's no Tino. Tino slap him. Tino slap him. Tino slap him, mate. Slap him. Oh no. What's happening over here on Instagram? Oh no. Oh, Maddie. Comeback can always happen, lads. Logan. I'm willing to make a bet. If Cook Islands come back and win this game here today on the 18th of October 2025 against Fiji, down 32-12 with 18 minutes to go, I give you $500. How about that? But if they don't do it, we hide you from the channel. Are you willing to make that bet? Are you willing to make that bet? If you're willing to make the bet, confirm for me now in the chat. So Fiji, from mid to right, to make it a 34-12 game. Max King could make the Samoan squad, the Big Uso. Thank you for letting us know both times the Samoan squad. Yeah, Max King, not too sure if he's the Big Uso, but he's definitely the Big Bopper. Daz makes us say we hide him anyway. That is an option that we do consider quite regularly here on this channel, Daz. We do consider that not only daily, but hourly. Very much so. And Brandon Wakem will make the kick, so it is 34-12 with 18 minutes to go here of the game. 18 minutes to go. He scored 100 points for Fiji, Brandon Wakem. West Tigers legend. West Tigers legend. Lagan says, hide lagging, hide greatness. Okay, yeah, we'll hide Lagan, and then I'm not too sure who greatness is, but we can hide him too if he's been a mupper. Yeah, can hide them both. I'm definitely in favour of the first one, but hiding both of them is definitely up my alley. His chat logs speak volumes. So Cook Islands will kick this ball off to about the 35, and they will catch it. So Cook Islands ball. Should I send on that? Oops, no worries, Daz. Say it again. So Cook Islands will be the 25-second tackle. That wind has been so strong to push that ball backwards when they're kicking from the left-hand side. And kick the ball over the dead ball line when kicking from the right-hand side. Not that Fiji did it, but Cook Islands did it multiple times. The Cook Islands are at the 18 on third tackle. 82 timeouts and 29 deleted messages. That's crazy. And Cook Islands, Ruben Porter. 8 metres out of the line, sorry. Mason Teague, fourth tackle, now fifth tackle for the Cook Islands, 3 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. Mason Teague gets it at the back. Isan Masters, short ball to the line. Try time. Cook Islands. Try time for Rennie. And it is 34-16 with a kick to come. 34-16 with a kick to come. It's a nice try here. Nice try. Unfortunately, lagging, you didn't accept the bet. But not great defense there from Fiji. That Fiji vs Papua New Guinea game is going to be actually really interesting in a couple of weeks. So the Cook Islands score and bring her back within 18. And it should be a 16-point game because he should get this here from close enough to the post. He almost lost that ball, Ruben Rennie, but he does get it. Knowledgeable Lyric says Cook Island comeback loading. Is that right? Knowledgeable Lyrics. Cook Island comeback loading. Well, good luck with that one, Knowledgeable Lyrics. Got a feeling, Jay. Got a feeling. Knew it. I knew it was coming, Jay. I knew it was coming. Got a feeling. I got a feeling. Woo-hoo. 15.5 minutes left. They do get the kick, so it is a 16-point game. Did they just say it's a one-scoring game, the difference right now in the commentary? I didn't realise that one score is 18 points or 16 points, but, you know, fair shout. I probably misheard it, but from what I heard, might possibly be the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. All right, so Fiji kick it down. Oh, that's going over the sideline. Oh, no, they luckily knocked the ball back inside. Cook Islands have really found it tough getting that ball off of the kickoff. Second half completions, Cook Islands are 11 from 11. Fiji is 6 from 9. Fiji's completion rate in this game has been just horrific. They're at 66% across the game. They're at 67% in the second half. Cook Islands are at 88% from 23 from 26. Like, completion rate-wise, Cook Islands are actually the clearly better team. Was that the real knowledge for lyrics, or was that the English knowledge? Probably lagging. So fifth tackle here at the 50. I knew it'd be him. Alright, so it's going to be Fiji. Jareem Buller grabs it at the 10, and he'll bring it out now to the 25. First tackle. Optimus says, I wouldn't mind washing Masters in the shower. Just pat him down a little. No funny stuff, no. What the fuck did I just read? What? What did I just read? A comment just said, I wouldn't mind washing Masters in the shower. Just pat him down a little. No funny stuff, though. What did this stream just turn into? This stream just turned into like a Thailand party. What happened? Fourth tackle. No soapies happening here, Optimus. No soapies happening over here. Fifth tackle here at the 30. And now Brandon Wakeham puts up a pretty good bomb here. Good area. Drop ball. Fiji try. Tosso Viti. Tosso Viti. Tosso Viti. Tosso Viti. Right time. They got to check the bunker though. They're going to confirm that it's just drop ball from the Cook Islands. Drop ball from the Cook Islands. They're going to check it, but I'm pretty certain this is a try time for the Viti. Alright. So they're all on side here. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, yeah, we've got a weirdo in the chat, that's for sure. Yeah. Madu says, take up nursing or go work at a soap place in Japan. Jay's just timed him out because he started speaking about masturbation, which is just something interesting here. That's knocked backwards here from the Cook Islands, and then Fiji will just put the ball down. I know Jay's timed him out, but the comment read, normalise chronic masturbation. There is an issue with this game. So that's a try time, I think, for Kurt Donahue. I think Kurt Donahue just stole a try from Michael Jennings. Kurt Donahue scores and is about to be 38-18 with a kick to come, and the tries are now flowing. The floodgates are opened, and Fiji are about to make it 40 points to 18, which would be 10 points away from the Fidi Bomber. Fidi Bomber. Thirteen and a half minutes to go here the game. You can tell how deeply enthralling this game is. Usually we're bang, 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 talking, commentating as much as we can. Today, it's just been like a bit of a drain of a game. But you expect this when you've got this kind of matchup. Finally, I was just thinking. What were you just thinking, Jackson? What were you just thinking? So, Brendan Wakeham. You would assume he kicks this one. He's been pretty good with goals today. He's 5 from 6, and the only one he missed was far on the left-hand side, and the wind was very strong. And Wakeham will convert the kick, so it will be 40 points to 18. 40 points to 18 with 12 minutes 48 to go of the game. Jackson, Daz isn't saying your Diddy's old. Daz is saying Optimus, the one that has been timed out from the mods for his really interesting comments about Isan Masters and masturbation. That's what Dazmate is referring to right now. So Cook Islands to kick this ball off, but the wind is still so strong it just knocked the ball off the kicking tee. I just don't think... Yeah, come on. Can someone please hold the ball on the kicking tee? Like, it's not... Someone hold the ball. Oh, no. Lucky. It stays there this time. And that wind is so strong that it's actually going to be not 10. It's going to come back to the halfway point. Jeez, that wind is strong. So this is going to be... Oh, did go 10, they said. What? Well, you may as well challenge that, Fiji. Apparently that's gone past the 10 and then come back. Okay, well, that's how strong the wind is. That is how strong the wind is today. So this will be Cook Islands ball here at the halfway point. There's Jared Hayne on the sideline. So Cook Islands now will get this ball here to the 43. Actually, yeah, why is it a scrum to Cook Islands at halfway? Why is it a scrum to the Cook Islands at halfway? If it goes past the 10, past the 40 for 10 metres and then comes back and goes over the sideline, it's just Cook Islands tap, no? Anyway, what did do? Same result, but why is there a scrum? It's a goated reference there, Daz. 4th tackle here at the 10. And Cook Islands are 5 metres away from the line. 5th tackle. It's just been back and forth with tries in the last 10, 15. No tries the first 15 minutes of the second half, and then Tano Milne opened the game up with his bin. And Fiji taking back in the in-goal, so it'll be a dropout. More tape for us than needed. It's only a 6 weeks course. Well, I just don't understand how there's a scrum at halfway. Why is there a scrum? What is the call there? Are they saying it's a knock on Fiji? Well, then if it's a knock on Fiji, which it wasn't, then wouldn't that ball be back at the 40? But also, the ball didn't even bounce out. It just crossed the plane, but then blew back. The ball went over the sideline. Why is it a scrum? Wouldn't it just be anyway? So Fiji will kick this ball to about the 33 and Cook Islands through Olberg. He'll bring it out of the 20 on first tackle. 10 minutes to go here at the game, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And if you have not already and you do love travel content from around the world, do go subscribe to BKRtravel in the pinned comment over there, where we have been traveling all throughout the year throughout Asia, America and the likes. Second tackle. That is in the pinned comment. And there'll be a video that drops literally in 20 minutes' time. There will be a video that comes out, but Cook Islands must score. No, 1 metre away from the line, third tackle. And don't forget Samoa versus New Zealand tomorrow. Over the top, intercept by Fiji. Intercept by Fiji. And they don't break away, but they get taken down to the 10 now. Suno Turuva brings it out to the 20 on second tackle. Yeah, the Harbour Bridge pass wasn't ever going to work out in that situation. Third tackle, 30 metres away from the line. Can we see Fiji hit the fitty bomber? They bring it now to the 40 through Kurt Donahue. Fourth tackle. Overall, I know the scoreline 40 to 18. I haven't been that impressed with Fiji today. It's not been overtly impressive. One, Fiji shouldn't be giving up 18 points to the Cook Islands. And also, two, Fiji should be getting 50. And Fiji will kick this ball down to the corner. Good kick. It'll go out around the 5. So it'll be Cook Islands ball at the 10. 9 minutes to go here at the game. Yeah, you can clearly see there's no urgency from either team here. Fiji don't care less and Cook Islands don't care less. This is going to be a dribble last 8 minutes 45, guys. This is going to be a dribble last 8 minutes and 45. My goodness me. Paul Goldberg looks like my high school principal. He probably was. Mitter says, if we don't get 101 Things to Do Part 4, I'm unsubscribing. I haven't filmed... When did I do 101 Things to Do Part 3? That would have been dead set, 5 years ago? I would have been... Damn, I think maybe I uploaded those videos in 2020? 2019 or something like that? When did I put those ones out in BKRtravel? Mitter says, yeah, Fiji vs Papua New Guinea feels like the only good game in the bowl. Correct. Like I said, every single Pacific Championship and international match this year should be awesome, except for the games that involve Cook Islands. And I'm so sorry to say it. Oh, Fiji knock it on. 6 again here for Cook Islands at the 35. I'm so sorry to say this, Cook Islands fans, but it just is the case. You know, you're not at the level of these teams yet, but you are developing. So every game that involves the Cook Islands will be a blowout. But every other game, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, should be great. Australia versus England, all 3 games should be great. New Zealand versus Samoa, New Zealand versus Tonga, and Tonga versus Samoa should all be great. It's just unfortunately the Cook Islands, they still have a lot of development to go. Oh, Optimus, we're watching you, buddy. We're watching you, buddy. We are watching you, champion. Dearie me. Mitchell said 6 years ago. Also, dearie me. So, Captain's Challenge here from Fiji. So, knocked back there from Cook Islands. He definitely touches that and knocks that on there. He can't get more of a knock on than that from Brandon Wakeham. But they just give themselves a bit of a break. How many of those 101 have been completed? Mate, I didn't even get to part 4, and I don't even know of the 3 parts that we did, which would have been 30, and how many we've done there. I can tell you most of what was on the BKR Sport bucket list. I can't really remember what was on the BKRtravel bucket list. What's up with those England goal lines? Why are they so small? Because they're in football pitches, Premier League pitches. But it's dangerous. Why are we still checking this? This is as blatant a knock-on as you could ever imagine. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That was a very blatant knock-on there from Brandon Wakeham. I don't know why we're still watching this. Unsuccessful challenge from Fiji. But I will be streaming the Super League next year, guys. First time ever, I will be streaming the Super League games next year on the channel. Especially going into the World Cup be good because I want to know the English players going into the World Cup and how they play. Well, obviously, for people who don't know, we stream every single NRL game here live, every single one. We do all the international games, we do all Rugby League, but I haven't been doing Super League because the time zone's been awful, but I might be in a better time zone next year for England. But this is who you're going for. In what? What, Super League? I don't have a team. Third tackle at the 18, which is good because then I can't give any bias. Cook Islands on fourth tackle. They're going to be about 12 metres away here from the line. 7 minutes to go here of the game. They get to Teague to Ethan Masters. Jeez, the quality of broadcast is bad. Fifth tackle, 10 metres away. He's a London Broncos fan. I am not a Broncos fan, nothing. Oh, short ball to Ruben Rennie, and he'll be taken down. 3 metres out. No, that's a bullshit penalty, referee. No, I don't believe that was a high tackle. I think he comes around the shoulder down. But they'll call it a penalty for a high tackle. So 6.5 minutes to go here of the game, and Cook Islands will get another attacking opportunity to break the 20-pointer. The twisty 20. Oh, I disagree. He's come across the shoulder there, but whatever. 6 minutes to go here. Come on. Chop, chop, mother bitch. Chop, chop. Choppity, choppity, chop. My son-in-law still have no idea of the game. Thank God. Hotties? Hotties? What's happening with the hotties? What are you talking about, Sean? I get the first part, but the... Thank God for hotties. I'm not... What's that about? So that's going to be Cook Islands at 5 metres away here from the line. And now second tackle, 2 metres away from the line. 6 minutes to go here of the game. 6 minutes to go. And 6 again for Cook Islands. Can they score one more time? 1 metre out, first tackle. Jackson says, Ronaldo and your husband. What? My husband? Hold on. I'm going to read this in a second. But Cook Islands might score? No, they'll be 1 metre short second tackle. I'm going to read this set. And then I'm going to clarify what I've just read there. No, it's a knock on from the Cook Islands. Fiji will get the ball at 10. Jackson says, Ronaldo and your husband is the best for the kids and the one you want me for me to do it for you to get the rest of my life in the morning. And then you can get it for me to do it for you to get the R. All right, Jackson, I'm going to need you to go to a mental hospital because you are off your rocker. That's what I'm going to reply to you there, Jackson. I don't know where Ronaldo has come into this. I definitely do not have a husband. What's the best for the kids? I don't even know what you think of what anyone wants about you. Rest of my life in the morning. Yeah, look, I think, Jackson, I think you need to seek help. Because every single part of your comment just then made no sense. So there's a challenge here from the Cook Islands with 5 minutes 27 to go. Ibram says Jackson's been using all of Sean's bongs. That would make sense too. Unsuccessful challenge, so it will be Fiji ball to 10. Surely you're streaming League 1 games, mainly Newcastle and Keighley games. Yeah, probably not, Daz. I do need to actually exist in a life. This whole chat needs help, I think. Optimus, we all need help. But especially Jackson Tuaputa. Especially Jackson, because not a single part of his comment made sense. I'm also not too sure if he means Ronaldo Mulatalo, which is Fortnite boy, or he's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo or Ronaldo Fortnite boy Mulatalo. Second tackle in Fiji, 4 minutes 55 to go of the game. This is a long drawn out 10 minutes. But this whole chat does need help, especially me. Third tackle now at the 20. Now fourth tackle here for Fiji at the 30. I don't know what he's on. Fourth tackle here for Fiji at the 38. Yeah, you can just tell Fiji became super complacent in the second half. 40-20 attempt here from Fiji, but it will be straight down the guts of the field, and it's going to be a 7-tackle set here for the Cook Islands. So Fiji will go to the top of the Pacific Bowl for the time being. Then Papua New Guinea will play the Cook Islands next week, I think on Saturday. Before the week after, where the big game between Papua New Guinea and Fiji Bati. Papua versus Fiji. That's what talking about Tane getting binned. So drop out from Cook Islands. Thunder have conceded 2,216 points in the last 2 seasons. 0-38 record too. Yeah, but just think about the moment they actually win. You know? Just think about the moment they actually win. That's a high tackle. They don't call it though. First tackle there for Fiji. 10 metres away. There's still a chance for Fiji Bomb if they can score here. Saukuru will score. That's a try time Fiji. 44-18 with a kick to come. Yeah, Newcastle teams do love a spoon, Ibrahim. So Saukuru is actually on debut and will score. So 44-18. With a kick to come, Solomone Saukuru Tigers players have run rampant today for Fiji. Solomone Saukuru from the Tigers, Dream Buller from the Tigers, Suna Turuva from the Tigers. Gee whiz, leave some for the rest of us, Tigers. Leave some for the rest of us. And you would add more of it because Saikoro Isao was able to play. Tigers is legend. It'd be like the Browns 2018 when they won. Yeah, what a moment. Detroit Lions have gone 0-16 before too. They went 0-16. Have they ever made it a close game in any game? Well, 2,216. Hold on a second. I'm going to get the calculator out here. I'm going to get the old calc. The old calc out. 2,216 divided by 38 games. So they've conceded basically 60 points a game. Have they ever made a game close? Have they ever made a single game even relatively close? Because 58 points on average per game is diabolical. 2 minutes to go of the game, and wow, out of all the kicks he's made today, he misses that one. So it stays 44-18. One score game between the Fiti Bomber and the Fijians. Come on, Fiti Bomber. One try. We did Parramatta took Kitione Kautonga. Sure. Sure. Minute 50 for us to see potentially, hopefully, Fiji get defeated Bomber. We want to do a really sorrow dance. Bear with me. 58 points on average per game across 38 games is diabolical stuff. And that will go... Oh, my God. Fiji will get the ball, actually, at the 35. Okay, come on. We want a Fiti Bomb. We want a Fiti Bomber, Fiti Bomber to knock on. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. We didn't get a Fiti Bomb. We are not going to be receiving the Fiti Bomb here today, ladies and gentlemen. But what you are going to be receiving in a minute and a half, well, in 7 minutes' time, on BKRtravel, we have a video that you guys are going to want to watch. So go subscribe to BKRtravel, and if you don't do it, well... your team's going to get the wooden spoon in the NRL next year, and that's a fact. It will happen. It will happen. I'm putting a mockery on your team. Your team will receive the wooden spoon in 2026 if you do not subscribe to BKRtravel. Unless you're a Titans fan, you're still going to win the premiership. I don't really drink, Optimus. Trey says, go to Cookies. Good work, BK. Appreciate you, Trey. Second tackle now for the Cook Islands. They're 13 metres away from the line. Can they break the 20 threshold? Short ball, chance here. Oh, it might be broken. He does score. 44-22 with a kick to slap, boom, bang. Optimus, yeah, I don't really drink, man. When I drink, but I don't usually drink. I'm probably going to wait for Fiji and then I'll have a few of my friends. Last try wins, Madu. Well, you know, some say it, some believe it, and I call it fact. 33 seconds to go of the game. The Cookies will make it a 22-point game, and they're about to make it a 20-point game at 44-24. Good offloads there. But Fiji, you can just clearly tell that they went complacent. And this is what they do. And this is why I said before the game started. Fiji gets super complacent. So they've won this game convincingly without even having to play anywhere near their best. They've actually been pretty disappointing today. Fiji, I know the stats look fantastic numbers-wise for score, but 67% completion rate is poor. The possession was 61% at half-time in favour of Fiji. It's now 50-50%. You know, like Fiji just didn't care in the second half, dude, when they're up 28-6 or whatever. But a full-time score, 44-24 to Fiji. Not the greatest of showings there, but overall, we're through it. And tomorrow, we have a huge game between the New Zealanders and Samoa. We will go live about an hour earlier for a romper-stomper match there. That starts at 12:05 p.m. my time, so I'll be live at 11:05 p.m. my time, which is 12:05, 1:05, 2:05. 2:05 p.m. in Queensland and 3:05 p.m. in New South Wales. That is when we will be going live. So, all right. Wow, that was close. It was 24-18 2 years ago. Fair enough, Daz. Well, that's actually a close game. Well, there's some other big, massive scorelines there to break that average 58 then with that. But guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Like I said, there'll be a new video on BKRtravel in about 4 minutes' time. I'll see you tomorrow for Samoa versus New Zealand in a romper stomper. Congratulations to Fiji on a big win. They go to the top of the Pacific Bowl for now. And then Papua New Guinea next week will play the Cook Islands before Fiji play the Papua New Guineans in 2 weeks' time. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.